Mic is on, and here we go. Hello everybody, we just got some bloody Dragon Age news. I have just literally darted home from work, and I'm joined here with Lambo and Lisa. You can't see them, but they are behind me somewhere. Lambo, Lisa, say hi.
I am
Hello.
sick. I am here.
I have not read this blog article thing, so straight off the bat,
Neither have I.
neither has Lambo. Lisa hasn't. It's very exciting.
I have.
Is it good? Is it worth it, Lisa?
It's good. It's good. I mean, you just read it.
Okay, right, folks. Everybody who's read this, I'm going to read it right now. If you haven't, we're going to be on the same page. Hello, everybody. Everybody's saying hi. Hello, hello. Jack, please do read the IGN article. Okay, well, we will read everything. We will be covering everything.
Just before you do, Jack, at least in Discord, it doesn't sound like your proper mic is what it's going through.
It doesn't sound like... Okay, how do I sound everybody on... I mean, it is my mic. My mic is... What do you mean, Lambo?
In Discord, you almost sound like you're speaking through a phone.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me... How does my audio sound for you, folks? Is my audio all right? Can you all hear me okay? Is it just Discord being weird? I'm not bothered if it's just Discord being weird. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me, folks, everybody? I've left that Discord. It sounds okay? It's okay? It's all right? Sound fine on YouTube? Okay. Fine on YouTube.
Okay.
How about now? How about now, Lambo? Is it all right now? It's fine on YouTube.
Okay, it sounds the same, but that's fine.
Maybe it's just the... Yeah, anyway, okay. So I'm going to read this out. So the next Dragon Age has a new title by BioWare, June 6th. Yeah, everybody else is saying it sounds good. So, hi everybody. Summer is nearly upon us, and as promised, we're ready to provide an update on our big reveal. We'd like to invite you to join us on Tuesday, June 11th, for the official first look at gameplay for the next Dragon Age. What time? After Dragon Age Inquisition launched, the studio was given an incredible opportunity to explore, test, and validate a variety of gameplay concepts as we worked to determine what the next Dragon Age could look like. We brought everything to the table, which, yes, even included a multiplayer concept. The time we spent experimenting and iterating gradually taught us a lot. This work and the amazing support from EA helped us refocus on creating an incredible single-player game, good, with all the choices, characters, and world building you'd expect from us. At BioWare, we create worlds of adventure, conflict, and companionship where you're at the centre of it all. As fans of our franchise now know, every Dragon Age game has delivered a standalone story, set in the world of Thedas. These tales explore epic locales and threats, always thrusting you into a new conflict. Each game also introduces a new lead hero, the Warden, Hawk, the Inquisitor, that you call your own. You can expect all that and more with the new game, and of course, much like your unique hero, it wouldn't be a Dragon Age game without an amazing cast of characters, right? Of course. Each of the 7 unique characters that make up your companions will have deep and compelling storylines where the decisions you make will impact your relationships with them as well as their lives. You'll unite this team of unforgettable heroes as you take on a terrifying new threat unleashed on the world. Naturally, the Dread Wolf still has an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not your enemies, are the heart of this new experience. So to capture what this game is all about, we changed the name as the original title didn't show just how strongly we feel about our new heroes. Very cool. Their stories and how you'll need to bring them together to save all of Thedas. We're proud to introduce you Dragon Age, the Veilguard. We know you've been waiting a long time for this reveal, and we're so ready to show you what we've been up to. You'll see it Tuesday, June 11th, 8 AM Pacific time, at the Dragon Age YouTube channel with over 15 minutes of gameplay from the opening moments of the game that has you jumping back into Thedas on your new adventure. This moment means so much to everyone at BioWare, and we wouldn't be here without you. We're ready to have some fun, so join the chat early. We've got a few surprises for you. Thank you to all of your support. See you soon. Oh my goodness. Okay, Lisa, hit me.
There's more. There is more. So if you go to our Discord, I sent another article that
IGN?
It's kind of long, but yeah, it's the IGN one. Read
all right,
it.
let's jump back and read this. But Lisa, you share your thoughts.
Very interesting tidbits.
Yeah. Okay. Right, let's just jump into this then. So IGN. So, Dragon Age Dreadwolf is officially being renamed with gameplay reveal set for June 11th. This is exclusive. Next game in the series, renamed Dragon Age The Veilguard ahead of full reveal. So the next Dragon Age is set to get its first big gameplay reveal on June 11th, and when it does, it will be a new game. IGN can exclusively reveal that the latest entry in the Dragon Age franchise, previously known as Dreadwolf, is being renamed Dragon Age The Veilguard. The news comes with a host of details that shed new light on BioWare's anticipated RPG, which up until this point had been kept heavily under wraps. Among other things, BioWare confirmed that the Veilguard will feature 7 playable party members and that it will feature fun and fluid moment-to-moment combat, which while continuing to center strategy via the unique powers of each companion. But it's the name change that will do the most to raise eyebrows among the fandom. Ever since the conclusion of the Trespasser DLC, fans have expected a story focused on Solas, the former companion who was revealed to be the elven god Fen'Harel, also known as the Dreadwolf. BioWare General Manager Gary McKay explains that while Solas is, quote, still very much a part of the story of Dragon Age The Veilguard, the team wanted a new title that reflected a, quote, really deep and compelling group of companions. Blech. Quote, one thing that's important to remind fans is that every Dragon Age game is a new and different experience, and this game, more so than ever, is about you and your companions, a group that you must rally to fight by your side, McKay tells IGN. We can't wait for players to meet, connect, and form their own personal relationships with the unique companions that make up the Veilguard. That's the spirit of this game, of this story. Choosing who will join you on your adventure, fight alongside you, and be there by your side in the end. In a separate blog post, McKay elaborated, each of the 7 unique characters that make up your companions will have deep and compelling storylines where the decisions you make will impact your relationships with them, as well as their lives. You'll unite this team of unforgettable heroes as you take on a terrifying new threat unleashed on this world. Naturally, the Dreadwolf still has an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not your enemies, are the heart of this new experience. McKay claims that the name change wasn't a matter of focus testing, which commonly informs decisions like these. He even goes so far to admit that sticking with Dreadwolf might have been easier. Ooh. We actually think sticking with Dreadwolf... Oh, there's a spell mistake there, IGN. Get fixed on that. We actually think that sticking with Dreadwolf would have been the safer choice. Dreadwolf is a cool name after all, McKay said. In the end, it was most important for us to have a title that was authentic to the companions that are at the heart of this adventure we've created. We've worked throughout development to create really incredible backstories for each companion that intersect with the main narrative in meaningful ways. As for why, it's not simply named Dragon Age IV, McKay says, it's for the same reason that Dragon Age Inquisition wasn't called Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. Every game in the series tells its own unique story, and the title is an important element to help set the stage for the next standalone adventure, inclusive of its own hero, companions, narrative arc, villain, setting, etc. The highest stakes release in BioWare's history? ? The name change is the beginning of what is shaping up to possibly be the highest stakes release in BioWare's history. It's been a full decade since Inquisition, which was named Game of the Year in 2014 by IGN. And since then, the storied RPG studio has been battered by the disastrous release of Anthem, layoffs, and other setbacks, with Mass Effect Legendary Edition being one of its few bright spots. The Veilguard has been in various stages of development during this time, even reportedly being cancelled at one point, though McKay frames it as a period of exploration in his blog post. Of course he would. After Dragon Age Inquisition launched, the studio was given an incredible opportunity to explore, test, and validate a variety of gameplay concepts as we worked to determine what the next Dragon Age could look like. We brought everything to the table, which yes did include a multiplayer concept. The time we spent experimenting and iterating gradually taught us a lot. This work and the amazing support from EA helped us refocus on creating an incredible single-player game with all the choices, characters, and world building you'd expect from us. Asked what it means for BioWare to finally be able to show the Veilguard to the world, McKay said, "As studio head and executive producer, it's been incredible to see the journey, resilience, and passion that this team continues to bring every day. We have an incredible group of both BioWare and Dragon Age veterans who have been with us for years, as well as new faces and voices that love the series who have helped to create an unforgettable experience we feel will be worthy of the Dragon Age name." So who exactly are the Veilguards? In the lore, the Veil is a barrier between the physical world and the Fade, which is Dragon Age's spirit realm. Solas, who helped create the Veil, now wants to destroy it. Hence, as McKay puts it, the Veil needs guarding. While acknowledging that the why and the how is definitely spoiler territory, go on, get into it. McKay says, "The biggest clue I can share is that you and your companions that make up the Veilguard are central to taking down a new evil threat unleashed upon Thedas. It might not just be Solas. Dun dun dun." McKay isn't quite ready to reveal the party members quite yet, but does provide some hints on what to expect, including some initial info on romances. Ah!
Here we go.
Let me take a sip of water. We spent a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
a lot, I know.
I'm going to need somebody else to talk after this. We spent a lot of time making our companions feel authentic based on their own unique experiences within this larger fantasy world, which in turn makes the relationships you form with them feel even more meaningful. We've tapped into Dragon Age's deep lore and explored its most iconic factions to bring each of the 7 companions and their stories to life. I won't spoil next week's reveal, but I can say we've created a story where you can impact the world and the companions that surround you. Player agency is important to the Dragon Age. Player agency is important to Dragon Age, the Veilguard experience, and allows each player to form unique personal connections with their companions of choice. And yes, you can romance a companion you want. Yes!
Oh, interesting.
You and your companions are central to taking down a new evil threat unleashed upon Thedas. It might not just be Solas. McKay says the decision to pair the number of companions from 9 to 7, which is very interesting, is mostly down to it being the right number for the story we're telling. I respect it. Each one is intended to represent a unique faction, or, well, you know what we're going to be talking about now, or element from Thedas, and will feature their own arc with, quote, stories of love and loss, each with meaningful choices and emotional moments. As you accompany your companions to unravel their backstory and earn their loyalty and friendship, you'll visit more regions of Thedas across a deeper variety of biomes than any Dragon Age before it. McKay, which is crazy. McKay mostly sidesteps questions of how Inquisition's characters might fit into the Veilguard story, though he does confirm that it will once again feature an original protagonist similar to the Warden, Hawk, and the Inquisitor. Noting that each Dragon Age game, they've put each Dragon game, noting that each Dragon game has its own standalone story with its own thread and conflict. Games across the Dragon Age franchise are never designed as a game-over-game continuous storyline. They are familiar arcs, factions, and heroes important to the overarching Dragon Age universe that weave through the new story we're telling. The previous games, characters, and events aren't the anchor of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. It's about your adventure with a brand new cast of companions that you must rally to fight against a powerful force. He once again teases another villain beyond Solas. I don't want to get deep into spoiler territory, but I can say the Dread Wolf is not the only god players need to be it's not the only god players need to be worried about. BioWare hints at what to expect from the Veilguards. This is so much! We are eating today, bloody hell.
I know.
Also, hello everybody who is joining. My lord, there are 600 of you. I'm just reading this out. We're going to continue, but hello everybody. BioWare hints at what to expect from the Veilguard's gameplay. When the Veilguard is finally revealed on June 11th, BioWare's presentation, which will include 15 minutes of gameplay from the opening moments of the game, which will help set up the story. On the gameplay front, McKay says that the Veilguard's combat was a big area of focus, and something the team wanted to push forward. Among other things, McKay says that the Veilguard will feature an ability wheel designed to give players more direct control over their characters. Does that still mean we can play as them? We'll talk about it later, but yeah, that sounds interesting. As an RPG, strategy in combat is important as you bring 2 companions to every fight. Each companion brings unique powers and abilities that have a direct impact on how you choose to take down the enemies at hand. To add another layer to that strategic element, we're introducing a new ability wheel where you can pause the action and set up your next move, whether it's your companion's abilities or your own. Very cool.
Pause.
Yes, that's what you wanted, Lisa. Yes. The ability wheel opens
so
up a huge amount of strategic possibilities, giving players the ability to control the flow of combat and link powerful combinations of abilities between players and their companions that can quickly turn the tide of any battle. We think we found an exciting balance between fun, fluidity, and strategy for every encounter. So it sounds very much like Mass Effect, basically. And also, only 2 companions is interesting as well. But I suppose 7 companions overall, it does make sense to kind of limit it to sorry.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, we'll talk about all of that. We will talk about all of that. Let's finish this first. We're almost at the end. So, in summary, it all points towards a game that seems likely to please, hopefully, long-time fans of the series who have been waiting anxiously for a new entry over the last 10 years, and don't we know it? We are literally a representation of that fandom. We are right here, right now, in this stream, going crazy. And I'm talking to all you in the chat. BioWare won't say it directly, but everyone seems aware that a lot is riding on Dragon Age, and bloody hell is it. Its reception will say a lot about whether BioWare is able to re-establish itself as a top-tier RPG studio alongside Larian, CD Projekt Red, and other recent success stories. This is a game and experience that continues BioWare's tradition of single-player RPG storytelling set in the epic fantasy world of Thedas. We know Dragon Age fans and the community have been waiting a long time for the next game, and we could not be more excited to share our gameplay reveal on June 11th. Make sure to stay tuned to IGN for more Dragon Age. Okay, I'm going to take a breather, and I'm going to let Lambo, Lisa, and Marshall share your thoughts. Hit me.
Okay, all right. So we've been starving for 10 years, and now they're like, here's a 10-course meal. There you go.
Like, you know the old saying of, like, if you're starving, don't eat too much because you'll throw up. I feel like that's what's happening right now.
That's us right now.
I don't care.
Yeah.
No, me neither. Oh, I'm digging in.
There's so much to break down is my immediate thing. First of all, what do we think about the title? The Veilguard.
Drop the V. Drop the V.
Same.
I don't like the V.
Just Dragon Age Veilguard sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Veilguard, but in a Dragon Age title, it sounds weird. So Dragon Age Veilguard is what I would have gone for, but
what's the Roman numeral? The numeral of is the Roman numeral for IV?
Yes.
Is that why they've done it to go TV like Ivy?
But that doesn't make any sense still.
That.
I do prefer Veilguard over Dreadwolf.
I prefer Veilguard over Dreadwolf, but I don't like the.
Yeah.
What do people in the chat also think? Yeah, Dreadwolf, Daddy. Now we've got Datv.
DATV?
DATV? What are we going to call it? I'm going to be calling it, I think in videos, I'm going to be calling it Daddy for short, because DatV. Or Veilguard.
DatV.
I like the V, but I'd just like it to be Dav.
Dav, yeah, same.
As opposed to.
Oh, that's a good
I
point.
think
I'm going to check Dragon Age Keep.
Yeah.
I think they.
Veilguard sounds better than Dreadwolf. However, the
is down, but
Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Someone already mentioned it. Like when Dreadwolf was announced, everyone was also saying that that's very generic. And now everyone's saying it's better. We can't make up our mind.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Dragon Age, the video game. That's DatV.
I also put the picture in chat. The concept art we got ages ago, the companions, only had
There's
7
of them.
Okay, let me put in the chat. Yeah.
I'm getting a very ragtag group of. I will say this. It's giving me Mass Effect 2 vibes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For several reasons.
Yes.
Ignore the fact that Mass Effect 2 had the most Mass Effect companions out of all the games, but it's the feeling of like you're assembling like a ragtag group to do this mission. Like I highlight this one part where it says like choosing who will join you on your adventure, fighting alongside you, and who will be there by your side at the end gives me big suicide mission vibes. Like
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That kind of stuff matters. Like, and obviously said the companions are like the center focus. The companions and the bonds you make with them are like super important. Again, Mass Effect 2, loyalty missions, determine who survives at the end. That's not that they're gonna do like a 1-for-1 of the suicide mission.
Yeah, but it's got that vibe, doesn't it?
It's got that vibe of like you forming your like bonds with these companions is a major key part of what they were going for in the design, because they know the companions are one of the biggest draws.
The biggest reason we all play. Yeah, it's the biggest reason. We can all have mixed gameplay experience of Dragon Age, but everybody will say it's the characters. But you can.
And I know like a lot of people were thinking that like myself included, that we might be heavily tied to the Inquisition. I think now we're only going to be loosely tied to the Inquisition, with just one of these companions. One of these companions is going to be our Inquisition representative. I'm going to put all my chips in that Scout Harding, because
Harding for sure.
Yes.
I'm putting all my chips on Scout Harding because I'm coping, because I love her and I want to romance her.
I just want to quickly. No, you go. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, also on the subject of romance, it seems like they're implying that they're gonna go for Dragon Age 2, where everyone is bisexual and you can romance everyone. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3, that seems like what they're going.
It seems like it.
It definitely seems like that, which I'm all for. Like, hey, you want the Qunari? Hey, you want the Antivan Crow? Hey, you want the, on my opinion, I saw Emily here said not a fan of either titles, which I kind of similarly get by, but like, I do like Eclipse, I do like the ideas that we came up with, but I think going for Veilguard, it's fine. But I do like what Dama said, because it continues the conversation from yesterday of, it's not called Dragon Age the Veilguard, it's called Dragon Age Taylor's version, and I massively appreciate that. But Lisa and Mambo, what do you think about the title?
Yeah, like I said, like, drop the V. I do prefer Veilguard, because no one predicted Veilguard as the next title.
No.
I said yesterday Unveiled would have been good, but that's like, I think what I like about Veilguard is it tells us about the family that we're going to be having. We're not the that's what I like. It's not it's like the Inquisition. You form the Inquisition army. It's representative of an ancient order of old that used to be the former Seekers that then went redundant, and now it's the reclamation of that order. The Veilguard sounds like a faction that we're going to create because we only know of the Veil Jumpers currently. So it's like, okay, we're all going to be, and maybe we're obviously going to most likely be the head of the Veilguard, or we're going to be similar in line of that. But it's like, the Veilguard represents what we are in this narrative, which I like more than Dreadwolf, because I like the point that Gary McKay is making is Dreadwolf is just focused on Solas as the villain, and as they've confirmed here,
Solas is the old villain.
Exactly. So it's like actually that is just a villain, and what does the main protagonist have to do with the Dreadwolf? Nothing, besides the fact that they're chasing after him. This title is
more representative of us and our companions, as they said.
Absolutely.
It's. I've also shared a few tweets, namely for now the first two. It is related to the name change, so I don't have a Twitter account, so I can only see the tweet itself, not where they replied to.
They've changed the name to stop all the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, it took them long enough.
I'm still calling it Dad in my videos for short.
I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to the name. As I said, I like the Veilguard. It sounds cool as like a group name, but in a Dragon Age title, it sounds weird. I would have preferred just Veilguard. But I do think I prefer it over Dreadwolf. I like Dreadwolf, but
I prefer Veilguard over Dreadwolf. But I'm not gonna be saying the. I'm not going to be calling it Dragon Age of the Veil. I'm saying Dragon Age.
We control what we say. We will change.
We will change. We will change
this name.
We will. I don't like the. I don't like Origins, Exodus, or 2, whatever, or Inquisition. Like it's it's the Inquisition in the game, but it's just Inquisition. It's just Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't get the. Why the? Why
I don't know. It's a bit of an odd choice. But I mean, I'm gonna call it Dragon Age Veilguard anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Me too. Dragon Age
I do enjoy. Sorry, you go on.
Well, I'm gonna change the subject, so maybe you should go first.
I was going to as well.
Oh well, Lambo, give us your opinions on the title. What's your opinion on the title just before we close off the title? So, everybody here prefers Veilguard to Dreadwolf. We don't like the. It's more embolic of the plot. Any other kind of hot takes that we've got? Well, not hot takes, but takes.
Yeah.
No. Anybody?
Oh.
That was a question. That was a question. That was a question to use. Everybody here in Discord. That was a question to use.
Oh, us. I thought you just said like, yeah, no, that's I pretty much agree with that. I'm gonna be calling the Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm not going to add the because that's too much of a mouthful. But I feel like not adding the isn't like what are you talking about? I only the Dragon Age the Veilguard. Like no one's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, the
I
reveal
feel like
isn't for another few days. They can always just change the name again.
Yeah, there's still
Regal
time.
Giant has a good point. Sounds like they are pushing the resolution with Solas to a later game with the rename. Potentially, well, they're
I
pushing.
don't think so.
They're pushing the
see that.
idea of him
I
being
think
the
they're
sole
gonna push-
antagonist.
I see this as if we defeat Solus, there is now a group called the Veilguard that stop anyone trying in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that they're like, wait, this game is named Dreadwolf, but Solus isn't the only protagonist, or not antagonist, and
which
Yeah.
is.
he might not even be the final boss. We don't know that. So they're like, we can't really call it that when he's not 100% the focus of the narrative, when there's also X, Y, and Z threat, apparently other gods, that are also in the game. So like, we should probably just change the name to reflect the core companions and your party instead of the villain, which they're always the companions are always going to be in the game. They're always going to be there throughout the beginning, the middle, and the end. So it makes more sense, in my opinion, to name it after the companion group that you form, since they are apparently going to be the biggest focus of like many gameplay elements, including the combat and how you control them, which apparently isn't directly but more like indirectly, which again feels more like Mass Effect is what they're going for with and how you control, probably like a more in-depth one where you probably select certain skills that you can give them. I imagine that part is still in the game where you can like choose the skills you level up in your party and stuff, but you just don't you can't swap over to control them directly. Maybe well, I guess we'll find out on Tuesday. But and of course, you know, the romance and the seemingly emphasis on the bonds you forge with them and who you bring for certain missions and who you bring to the end is also seemingly very important.
Yeah, I agree. And then in terms of what time this reveal is, I'm trying to get like a global. Is there a global time zone converter that somebody can?
I looked it up for Europe time, and it is 5 p.m. CEST.
So it's
yeah,
4
my
p.m. for
time.
me. So what I will be doing is I will be booking an hour of annual leave from 3 p.m. and I'll be rushing home, and I will be streaming the shit out of this, folks.
So
anybody else here available to stream that? That would be literally around. Well, that would have been an hour ago from this time.
I can probably. Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Limbo.
No, I was gonna say I can join because that's 1 a.m. So that's fine.
I want to get a global time
probably...
zone so you can all see what time it is, because I know that everybody else here is in different countries. So let me have a look at that. But that is 8 a.m. Pacific time. What, 3 hours until Eastern? So it's what, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 p.m. for me. 5 p.m. for Europe or Lisa. It's a decent time, basically, because I get to do work.
It's a decent time. I can probably, if I go to work like half an hour earlier, I can leave half an hour earlier as well.
Yeah.
And I can be on, probably. But speaking of streaming, there's another tweet that I shared, which is from Jeff Grubb, and he basically, well, I mean, it's still not official, but like he said it will be at the Xbox show, so I'm expecting we'll get like a story trailer reveal at the Xbox show
and a release date. I'm gonna throw that in.
And the release.
Yes. So folks, we're streaming on Sunday. There's a stream tomorrow of Lisa and Lambo, and then we're streaming on Tuesday. There's lots of streams.
Yeah, so we'll have the context for the companions and who's who on Sunday, and then we get the gameplay on Tuesday, and then we know which companion is who, and
The stream tomorrow for me is only going forth if I can get rid of this cold, otherwise I will not be in any condition.
So, right, do we think it's going to actually be at Summer Games Fest tomorrow, is what everybody's asking now?
Tomorrow, I'm not sure about tomorrow. I'm really.
Do you think they've announced? Do you think they've announced this before, a day before, like they do with Game Awards in the past, or on Dragon Age Day, to prevent any kind of thingy happening for tomorrow? What do you think?
I don't think they're going to be there tomorrow because they would have explicitly said so because they want us to see. They want us to see what they've made and what they've been working on for like the past decade. They would not say, "Oh, it's going to be here, and then teehee, my bad. We also surprise it's there because no one's going to be watching."
Yeah.
You know, at least for Dragon Age because they know it's going to be at the Xbox showcase and on this Tuesday reveal. It's definitely not going to be there tomorrow during Summer Games Fest main. It will be there for Xbox, probably a story cinematic trailer with a release date and everything.
I agree.
Yeah, and then the tune in Tuesday for the gameplay, and then the gameplay, 15 minutes of gameplay, probably more in depth about the combat and stuff. So that's what's going to happen. Not going to be there tomorrow. Guaranteed they would have said something because they always say something unless it's like except for like years and years and years and years ago. But now they always say something.
It's true. It's true. And they have given us a day as well of you're definitely getting a Tuesday, and obviously we know it's going to be Xbox because of Jeff Grubb who said that, but they've just said Tuesday. That's all they've said, so it's kind of like, right, that's in stone. If it's going to be Xbox, that's another thing. They did say at the bottom of the article, look out in the chat for some teasers. Has anybody done that?
Yeah, I did. I think that's just if you join the stream on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know if they meant like you're gonna see the surprise if you join early or just join early because we have some surprise. I'm not sure how they mean it, but but they might still tweet something out. Maybe they'll make another announcement on Twitter or something that they're gonna be at the Summer Game Fest or at the Xbox show because you'd think they'd want to announce that they're gonna be at the Xbox show themselves too.
Also true, but but also at the same time, the Microsoft has bought that as a marketing deal. So, it's tricky. It's tricky. We do know it's going to be there because Jeff Grubb said it's going to be there. Again, that's just Jeff Grubb's word, but also Shinobi and Jason Schreier have corroborated that too. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly have no clue.
Or unless Microsoft or Xbox is going to announce something, but I'm not sure if they would.
Day I don't know. Game Pass.
Oh no. I don't know. I think it's weird that BioWare hasn't confirmed that they're going to be at the Xbox show or at the Summer Games Fest. So I'm kind of half expecting they will.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna clown either way.
That's fair.
So clowning tomorrow, and clowning Xbox.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the final time.
But no.
It's gonna be so weird. Once we've gotten the game and there's like
pack up the circus.
I'm not sure if we can ever pack up the circus. I think we're always gonna be clowns.
I was gonna say as soon as the game comes out, alright, everyone clown up for Mass Effect 5.
In Mass Effect 4 or 5, we're still not
it's
sure.
It's 5,
well,
but Andromeda's technically 4, but it's the 4th.
Yeah. Okay,
Shepard said in the IGN article they said it will be there, but I can't
find.
Yeah, but I can't find anything about Xbox.
Wait,
or
did we read over that?
I can't see that in. I can't see that in the article.
Oh.
No, I can't see it in the article. Sorry, Shepard. I don't want to doubt Shepard because it is Shepard, but I can't see it in the article.
Commander Shepard.
Commander Shepard.
I will say that I did appreciate the little comment they made about like being able to romance who you want. Cause,
yes. Well, let's break it all down.
Baldur's Gate, like everyone being able to romance everyone was really good. Yeah. I know that some people don't like that they didn't have like an identity, like everyone was just bi.
Yeah.
But every time, like when Inquisition came out, everyone complained that I can't play as a Kunari and romance Cullen, and like every mod within the first few days was Sarah is straight, Dorian is straight. Like people are gonna change it anyway, so it's good to just let everyone play what they want and romance who they want. Just more, not so much inclusivity, but more customization.
It also leans more towards player agency as a player.
Mm-hmm.
It does,
to where the players can express their own sexuality through the companions that they want to romance.
Mm-hmm.
Since every companion is romanceable, now the agency is onto the player, which I would argue is more important.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So if we break this down,
don't really have anything to add.
What about, so the first thing that the article mentions is it's a very different Dragon Age game because it's more about you and your companions. And I guess hinting back into what Marsha was saying about the conversation of it being like Mass Effect 2. It definitely feels like this narrative. While Inquisition is obviously about the companions, I suppose. I don't know. I kind of am interested in the approach they're going to go with how they're going to bring this out in gameplay and in the story. So it's more about Is it more about recruiting certain companions, choosing who will join you on your adventure, fight alongside you, and be there in your? It's that Mass Effect 2.
That feels like That feels like an Act 1. That feels like an Act 1 thing where you're gathering influence through these, because obviously they've said multiple times these companions are going to represent various factions in the world.
For sure.
So it feels like you're trying to subtly gain faction like allegiances and favor through your connection to these companions. I imagine, again, it's probably all going to start with the Inquisition because they're the ones who are out to get Solus from the get-go. They know about his threat. So I feel like our first companion is going to be the Inquisition companion.
Oh yeah.
And also, I think the second companion is going to be whatever faction you started with.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're a warden, you're gonna have the Inquisition companion and the warden companion as your starting companions.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And then you have to travel to the other factions, do quests, gain them. And I imagine that's Act 1.
Yeah.
Is forming the Veilguard.
Yeah.
In like a 3X structure. Act 2 can be all like, now it goes deeper to the stories.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think that's what's gonna be.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I mean, Mass Effect 2, in my opinion, is the best Mass Effect game. So having that as Dragon Age in a similar capacity to where you are. So clearly at this point, you know the threat. So you've seen something that you're against, or you know what you're up against, because why would you be forming the Veilguard, or why would you need to go and recruit in the first place? So that seems like from the very get-go, you have a sense of what the main villain is, this new villain, or if it is the Dreadwolf or whatever. It sounds like almost immediately we're going to come across this villain, and then goes this personal quest to make up the Veilguard. But yeah, unless it's like the Inquisition was kind of just naturally formed anyway, so they were trying to sort out the Divine and the Mages and the Templars, and then we got Corypheus. Whereas the Veilguard, it feels like it's going to be it's literally says here, your unique companions will make up the Veilguard. It sounds like we're forming it in a new kind of way, so I'm interested to see how that's going to go about.
We're forming a smaller new faction that is like almost like a task force, specifically meant for this purpose.
Yeah.
And that, again, one of the big connections I have to Mass Effect 2 is that we don't have major backing from any powerful organization in a meaningful way. We're kind of on our own. And that's also going off of what they, in the previous marketing, with like, you're not the chosen one, you're not a special boy or girl or anything. You're your own, it's low stakes. It's almost going back to Dragon Age 2, where you're just a couple of goofballs trying to save the world.
Yes,
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like a small elite group is what Geekget has said.
Yeah.
So I saw a rumor that the game is 10 years later. Yes, Chloe's Dragon. The game has been set 10 years after the events of Inquisition.
Which is par for the course for Dragon Age.
Yeah. It's also been 10 years in real life.
My immersion.
We could
it's not
feel
so much a rumor as we got that from Tevinter Knights.
Tevinter Knights and and the Missing.
God, Alistair's gonna be so dead.
He's no.
He's gonna be.
It's been
so
almost 25 years since he joined, or since we knew he joined. Yeah.
So getting to something that Lisa doesn't like: 7 companions. What do we think?
It makes sense given the setting.
Inquisition had 9, and then the 3 advisors, so it's definitely cutting back.
Yeah, I don't mind having less companions. I just don't like being able to only take 2 at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Being able to take 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to take 3 is just so. It is what Dragon Age is, and it is also the banter that you're going to be missing out on. Yeah. I feel like.
Good point.
There's just so much.
I think the reason they probably restricted the number of companions is probably going to have to do with whatever their gameplay is. Like, this gameplay change of potentially not controlling your companions directly, but more like a pause wheel that they've talked about. I feel like that might be the reason that makes 3 might be too overwhelming for people. We bump it down to just you and your 2 companions for the primary missions, and that's more manageable for the player base. I feel like that might be the primary reason why you can only take 2 companions with you during the gameplay.
Yes. Yeah.
And it also is like you're not missing out too much because this is the smallest roster of companions we've ever had.
It's true.
So you can easily swap between more regularly, and still kind of get a general vibe of all of the companions and their gameplay. Where imagine if this was only 2 companions and it's a 9 companion cast, that would be like, oh, I'm definitely just not going to play this one companion.
Yeah.
Just throw it aside.
Yeah. At least with 7, it makes it easier to, all right, okay, I like this person, I like this person, I like the combinations there. But like for me, it's going to put more of a bigger role on who you play as a class now, because obviously in Inquisition, it doesn't matter what I am because I've got my warrior, my mage, and my rogue. Whereas now, your role, which may be a good thing, but your role is going to be even more vital than it ever has been, because it's like, okay, I actually do need a mage and a rogue if I'm playing as a warrior now. I can't just wing it and bring whoever I want.
I will say, because I pretty much, after my first playthrough of Inquisition, I always played Enchanter Knight. I never brought Vivienne with me anywhere, because she was the Enchanter Knight of the party, and I was like, well, I don't need 2 Enchanter Knights.
Yeah, true. True.
So I feel like that might help alleviate some of that thing where you could swap between your party comp all like with just a smaller group. Because again, like I said, if it's a big group, you're just going to choose 1 or 2 people you don't really vibe with gameplay wise, and just kind of chuck them to the side and only bring them during the companion missions and stuff.
Yeah.
Know?
And then there's me. I'm a Rift Mage, and I'm always bringing Solus with me everywhere because, well...
Rift Mage hubby and Rift Mage wifey.
just do what I did for Inquisition. Make 3 world states. Every world state has a different 3 companions. You take all 9.
Yeah.
That is true. And I think
also,
what I do like about that is that...
Jack. I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna dip out of the stream. I am not feeling.
No worries, Lambo. Hope you rest up. Yeah, no worries, Lambo. Thanks for joining, Lambo. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, everyone in chat. Please enjoy the rest of the stream.
Rest up, Lambo. What I do like is it says that. What does it say? It said something like they are putting a lot more stock into the 7 characters. There's a lot more. It sounds like there's a lot more content in them. Whereas, like, I suppose a little bit of a flaw of Inquisition was because there was so many companions. A few of them did feel a bit. I mean, I just think of Blackwall personally, and I know people like Blackwall, but I just think he feels a bit naff when you've already got Solas's story already told, and you've got Blackwall, which is a very similar story. So I feel like with 7 and with these 7 distinct characters. And the idea that they're putting more like stock and content into them is a really good idea. It means you're not going to get the one companion who kind of sticks out like a sore thumb versus other. Like, it means that there can be more content in them, which I appreciate.
Right, but are we going to have an apostate that betrays us?
Well, they did say
we have to.
They did say we have to. Naturally, Dreadwolf is still an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not the enemies, are the heart of this new experience. I know that's saying like the Dreadwolf isn't just your enemy. But also, like, the fact that it says you and your companions, not your enemies. So it's like saying your companions aren't the enemies. But I mean, come on. There's got to be.
There won't be any betrayal this time around.
What if we're the betrayer? What if
we're the apostate that betrays everyone?
Or the Inquisitor
I'm going to be playing a mage.
Well, yeah, the Inquisitor comes back. And the Inquisitor is like, actually, I want to join Solas's scheme, so I'm going to betray you all. That's what Lisa will be doing, isn't it, Lisa?
Maybe. I mean, she's definitely not going to try and kill him, that's for sure.
Alright, so what other points did this come across? So, new threat. What is the new threat? Oh, I wonder what it could be.
I wonder.
Who is a
My guess is still one of the Evernerus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but which one?
That is still my guess.
That's the big question.
Elganan. I'm hoping for Elganan, and then saving Mafal for the final game. But Elganan and Andruel would be like a father-daughter complex.
I would say Gillanon as well.
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm mixed about Gillanon or Andruel. I say Andruel because now looking into it with like the weapons of the Void or the Blight and the spear that she had that represented the kind of the sea creature in the previous concept art. Looks like it could be Andruel, but also Gillanon and her creations, and they're just as relevant. It could even be both those two, but it could be either. Again, I personally like the idea of Elganan and Andruel, But yeah, I mean, it could be Dirthaman and Valandane, as somebody said yesterday. It could be Gillinan and Andrul. It could be so many other people, elven gods. 2 archdemons in the art. Yeah, exactly. Why not all of the elven gods? Because, well, yeah, it could be. But it's only because we've seen the 2 concept arts of 2 of them already. So it could be all of them at once.
Also, that would be extremely overwhelming. That would be so overwhelming.
That would be very, very...
And I don't see us fighting all of them if all of them show up.
Yeah.
At least not in one game.
Not in one game. But also like the idea of the two old god souls that are the two archdemons that remain, that linking to the elven gods. There's a theory there or a correlation there. But yeah, it could be either. And then it says here, the Dreadwolf still has an important part in this tale, which is good reassurance. Of course, hopefully, we're gonna get this closure of Solas that we're all begging for. But the heart of this experience is you and your companions. So they like the idea of Dreadwolf. It's a cool name, but ultimately, it's a more authentic title to suit the companions that are at the heart of this adventure that they've created. They've worked throughout development to create interesting backstories for each that intersect with the main narrative in meaningful ways. That's what I was trying to touch on before, where they said they've kind of put more... It sounds like they've put more detail into their backstories that are then going to intersect into the main narrative, rather than just recruiting Blackwall because he's a Grey Warden and he was in the Hinterlands and wants to join the Inquisition. This sounds like they have more meaning. Yeah. And obviously, the Grey Wardens had a place in the Inquisition's narrative. Obviously, Blackwall wasn't a Grey Warden, but this sounds like they're going to intertwine better, and there's going to be more of a reason. Which again, Mass Effect 2, straight up, we need somebody. No sound Jackdaw. No sound Jackdaw.
No sound Jackdaw.
No sound Jackdaw.
No sound Jackdaw. Let me see.
No sound.
I don't know. I mean,
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Maybe Helen. Maybe you muted.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like like everybody you're hiring or you're recruiting is for a reason. Again, like hiring Logistica in Mass Effect 2 and all that stuff.
Yeah. It feels like you would only bring someone into the Veilguard if they have a specific drive for the cause.
Yes.
This isn't a massive organization like the Inquisition where anyone can sign up if they feel a certain way.
Yeah.
This is a highly specialized team. And yeah, they might not necessarily at the start be for the cause. They just might have a special skill set that is important, or joining so you can form an alliance with a faction. But I still feel like everyone's going to have stakes in this one way or another.
For sure.
It's going to be personal.
Exactly. Hey, Watchman, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. And I guess
I'm still.
Oh yeah, you go, Lisa.
I'm still hoping there's going to be some sort of origin for our player character. Like, it's probably not going to be as detailed as Dragon Age Origins, but I hope it's more than we got in Inquisition.
Please, please. I mean,
and if that is the case, maybe our player character will meet. Say if our character can play as a Grey Warden, or it can be their origin story can be related to the Grey Wardens, maybe they're gonna already know the Grey Warden companion that we get.
Yeah. I brought that up a little bit ago. I think the first companions you're going to have, the first 2 members of your party are going to be the Inquisition companion, who kind of brings you into this whole deal, and your origin companion, whoever that is.
That'd be great. That'd be really cool. I like that. And I suppose if we're talking about 7 factions and they're all from 7 different... Sorry, we're talking about 7 characters and they're all from 7 different factions. What the hell could they be? Like, where are they from?
All right.
So we got...
Mortalitassi.
Yeah. 1.
Grey
Wardens.
Grey Wardens.
Crows.
Carla, maybe?
Let's say
sorry?
So let's focus on the comics. So the comics we had, the Grey Wardens, the Antivan Crows, the Veil Jumpers, the Mortalitassi.
The new thing.
The Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons. The Shadow Dragons.
No. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. They're going after treasure.
Oh, Lords of Fortune.
They're going after treasure.
Lords of Fortune.
Yeah, those. Yeah,
that's 6 already.
Lords of Fortune.
That's 6 massively relevant ones, and then we got the Executors.
The Qunari.
The Qunari, the Executors, Qunari.
Executors, I'm not.
I've already. We're just gonna name them all.
Let's
list them all. They could be. Let's list them all. There's no
the Shadow
point now.
Dragons could be part of it.
I've already put them on the list as well. Tevinter Sakari is Tevinter's network of spies. We think we're going to get a Shadow Dragon. I imagine we'll get a Shadow Dragon. But they're still a relevant faction. What else have we got? It's 9. Inquisition, 10.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Teke, 10. What else have we got? Dorian's group, the Lucerni. Yep, I agree.
Group, good one, yeah.
11. Come on, chat, help us out. Mornwatch, we said the Mortality as a whole, but you do have the fraternity of the Mornwatch, and you also have the keepers of the thingy. Yeah, we've got 11 there.
Man, there's a lot of factions in this game.
But I just want to try and list as many as we can. Think of Winter Nights. What were your favorite stories? You had Lords of Fortune. You had Grey Wardens. You had the Winter people. You had think of the Dreadwolf Turkey. Who was at the table?
That was a Mortalitasi.
Yeah.
It was white. It was Solus disguised as a bard.
Yeah.
So a bard?
Yeah.
It was
the Bards Guild.
Well, that's 11. We'll stick at 11. That's a lot of facts. So we're getting 7.
Yeah.
Lisa's unsure about an executor. I want an executor, but I feel like a veil jumper has ties to an executor, or at least they have the triangle.
If we do get an executor, I feel like that'd be one of the companions we get later on because they're so mysterious.
Oh, exactly.
I feel like getting a start would be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So that I don't want one as a companion because it would be cool, but I think there's too much mystery around them.
What about the people in Parvolin? What are they called?
The Kosith or
no?
Am I? No, that's never mind.
There's a faction in Parvolin. I swear, is it Saharan or Parvolin? There's like there's a faction there. Anyway, there's a lot. There is so many. So we've on this contact, which again is contacts from ages ago. We've got a noble woman, which could be, and people say Tia Andortori.
Someone said Legion of the Dead. That's another faction.
Oh yeah.
Riveni Pirate.
The Fog Warriors. Thank you, Zer. Yes, the Fog Warriors. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Fog Warriors is another one. Again. So we'll touch on it in a minute, but the article said that we're going to see more biomes or Thedas than ever before. Then there you go. Hello, Ethan. How you doing? Listen from work. It's crazy. So, I mean, we've just listed about 12, 13 there, and we're getting 7, which is brilliant. Hopefully, we can be part of, at least one of the 4, which from the comics is the Antivan Crows, the Grey Wardens, the Veil Jumpers, and the Shadow Dragons. At least one of the 4. They don't need to give us 7. It'd be amazing if they did that. Unless it was like a Codicy entry and we didn't actually get a main quest. Whatever. But at least 4. Come on. Surely. That would be really good. Especially if we are a new character. We're not the Inquisitor. We're creating a new faction. There's more flexibility in this new position. We all want that. So that's the companions.
I hope they brought back heists in some way.
Oh, yes. Yes. That would be so good. Heists.
I also hope we get a little hiding place, like a little hideout.
Yeah. For the
somewhere in Tevinter, maybe.
I really want to hide out.
Yeah, same. And I hope we can customize it too.
Maybe we have a hideout in like Tevinter City.
Yeah.
I hope we have a hideout somewhere in Minrathas or somewhere in Tevinter, and when we get it, it's like it's old, it's decrepit, and we have to build it back up and upgrade it like we did Skyhold, but maybe a little more, just a little more upgrades than that, and just visually customize
we load up
it.
The Sims.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing The Sims, but it's Dragon Age. I want to be able to customize my hub.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next point we have is... So what exactly are the Veilguard? In the lore, the Veil, we know what the Veil is.
What's the Veil?
The Veil needs guarding. So biggest clue we can share is that you and your companions that makes up the Veilguard are central to taking down a new evil threat. Not just Solas, of course. Evanuris, Elven gods, old gods. I mean, what else could threaten the Veil? Besides Solas?
Me!
Sandal, the real maker. The real god of this world.
My thing is, how are we going to protect it? Like,
We are going to fix whole, like, you know in Andromeda where you basically go around all the planets, basically turning on a massive like a massive bio cleaning machine.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, a massive air conditioning system. We're gonna find air conditioning systems around the Veil and just turn them back on. Or we're gonna do what
I kind of don't want that because I found the gameplay of that in Andromeda very, very
yeah,
repetitive.
I know.
I did not like going into the vault. It was so often.
It's true. Watchman says, "I guess we can't help Solas tear down the Veil then." Yeah, Lisa, it sucks for you. Yeah, it's true. How are we gonna do that? Unless like we're letting no, we're guarding the Veil so Solas can destroy it. There we go. It's like we don't want the Elven Gods to destroy it. We want Solas to destroy it. How dare the Elven Gods destroy it? No, this is Solas' moment. Let him shine. Oh. So
imagine the way we actually guard the Veil. We go on missions to undermine anyone's attempts. Like Solas and his forces are trying to locate an artifact of some kind, and this location. Let's get that first and make sure they don't. So we can guard the Veil by undermining their plans. That kind of thing.
That would make sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Someone also mentioned Merida is still alive, which is. I'm not sure if they're gonna do anything in the game with that, but yeah, she is still around.
I don't think we'll do anything in the game with that, personally.
No, I don't think
it's gonna be more focused on the show.
That'll be a show narrative for sure, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't see the point in the show if they're not going to continue that narrative in the show anyway. With that as a cliffhanger, it's like, okay, so that narrative can continue through the show. Again, though, we are going to more biomes, so we could go back to Kirkwall. Who's to say we won't?
Someone also brought up the orbs that we activated to strengthen the Veil and Inquisition. I believe one of the short stories into Winter Nights confirmed that they actually worked. So who knows, maybe we'll see them again.
That's the game. We save the Veil, or guard the Veil by activating the orbs. Yeah.
Activating all the orbs.
So you get a mount.
More orbs.
Yeah. You get a mount, and it's not a griffin mount, it's a horse, and you go from Tevinter to Ferelden to Ole, and you just go boop.
You see like a objective marker says orbs activated 0 out of 50.
Yeah.
Oh no.
First quest, activate your first orb. Next quest, okay, activate the 50 rest of the orbs in the world. There you go. That's the game. Once you get to 50,
have fun, enjoy, bye.
Yeah, and that's how we save Thedas.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna go on an early retirement. I think I'm done. Bye. Thedas can save itself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull my stocks from BioWare and do it.
So the next thing they say is McKay isn't ready to reveal party members yet, but he said, "We spent a lot of time making our companions feel authentic based on their own unique experiences within this larger fantasy world, which in turn makes the relationships you form with them feel even more meaningful. We've tapped into Dragon Age's deep lore and explored its most iconic factions to bring each of the 7 companions and their stories to life. He's not going to spoil it, but they've created a world where you can impact the world and the companions that surround you. Player agency is important in Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and it allows each player to form unique personal connections with their companions of choice. And yes, you can romance whichever companion you want." So I'm more interested in Dragon Age's deep lore, which sounds like they've actually chose factions even deeper than what we would kind of think generically. Which makes me feel like the Executors.
I would think like the Shadow Dragons, that kind of stuff that's only appeared so far in like books and comics. I would argue that's technically deep lore, because if you're just a casual Dragon Age fan and you've only played the games, you're like, who are these Shadow Dragon people? What's going on here? Like, well, sorry, sir, you didn't read this book series.
Yeah.
Get with the program. So I think that's what they mean by deep lore, is that these more niche factions that not everyone is familiar with, but those who are heavily invested and have put in the effort to be heavily invested, it will pay off for them, because then they're like, I know what this is about. I know what's going on. This is great to see in the actual games. I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, I think that's a good... Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, 7's
I have
sick.
to be right back for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, I mean, 7's a really good number. I know we talked about it before, but I like originally I was thinking 4 companions for our new hero. We had a big reference of 4 in the cinematic 2020 trailer, and then also the Dragon Age The Missing comic, where we got 4 issues for 4 different factions. And to get 7 is brilliant. Like, that, yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of factions they do touch upon in the next game. And again, player agency being central to the next Dragon Age game is brilliant too. Of course, it's always been about, so the fact that they're continuing to do that and doing it even more meaningfully, I can confidently say that Dragon Age has always been really meaningful. So the fact that they're doubling down and saying it's going to be even more so, I mean, that's brilliant. That's brilliant for me.
I am curious. They mentioned, like, how like Dragon Age has never always been a game where your gameplay choices carry over to the next game, which isn't technically true. It does, only in smaller ways compared to Mass Effect. I am curious how many of the choices you make in Inquisition will affect the gameplay of 4.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I agree.
You know, because again, like it's never been like Mass Effect where it's like direct response, because it's like it's only like a few months to maybe a year at most time jump.
Absolutely.
But this obviously, it's a decade, but surely some of the choices you make will have lasting effect. Like
some
obviously,
of them, surely, yeah. Divine.
Whoever the Divine is, whoever the Divine is, hope maybe whoever drank from the well,
Yeah.
Like some of these major, and of course, obviously the biggest one, the Inquisition's attitude towards Solus, I feel like will be the most impactful.
I hope
like,
so.
Are they going full stop you no matter what the cost, or we gotta try to change his mind? That's gotta be, in my opinion, that's gonna be the most influential choice you make in the Inquisition, and it's going to drastically affect what the Inquisitor's stance on Solus is.
Absolutely.
So I understand what they mean, but like, it's never always been a direct continuation of your choices, because there's been always such a huge time jump. But I feel like there will, of course, be
there's still some ties. There's some ties. There still has to be the Divine. At least mentions of previous characters. We feel Varric's coming back. I mean, he was in the trailer, and BioWare explained Varric's coming back. Solas is obviously coming back. And Solas is a huge character in Inquisition. So there's hello, Lisa. There's so much sway with Solas. So like, yeah, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, there are still a lot of choices that were deeply meaningful and impactful of the world in Inquisition that surely have to have some place in the Veilguard story, which sounds really weird saying. We'll just say Veilguard.
It's gonna take some getting used to.
It is. Sure. It absolutely is. But I suppose speaking of that aspect, stories of love and loss. Ooh, I like the loss part.
I love the angst.
Yeah, the loss part. Oh, they're confirming that some. Let me read this in full context. McKay says the decision to pare the number of companions from 9 to 7 is mostly down to it being the right number for the story we're telling. Each one is intended to represent a unique faction or element from Thedas and will feature their own arc with stories of loss and love, each with meaningful choices and emotional moments. So, yeah, that's in regards to the 7 characters that we're getting. So some of them are going to have... I mean, again, that loss could be they lost a friend, they lost someone, it could be so many aspects of that. Hopefully it's not... I mean, I don't mind if it is to the extent of Solas's romance, where they're going to bin you off and become the next rival of the next game. But yeah, I like that. It's going to be a mix of tragedy and love entwined in these new romantic plotlines, which is exciting.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah.
And again, similar to Mass Effect 2, as you accompany your companions to unravel their backstory and earn their loyalty, literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Where have I seen this before?
I wonder. You'll visit more regions of Thedas across a deeper variety of biomes than any DA game before. I mean, where else haven't we been to? I mean, we already know we're going to Tevinter, and Tiva's been teased. The Anderfels has been teased.
I think they're like, we're not going to go anywhere south of the sea. Like, we're going to stay north. We're gonna go free marches to Tevinter, Anderfels, Antiva, Ravane. Like, that's where we're going to go. They're like, all right, we've been to, Orlais and Ferelden for 3 games, so let's take a chill. We're not touching Ferelden with a 10-foot pole. We don't need to worry about that right now.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
So then, but what's not? Then you got Saharan, Parvolan. Are they going to take us there? Is that too much? More than before?
Well, I think they are able to have these more diverse biomes, because I think the worlds we go to in the game are going to be smaller in scale than
Yes.
Inquisition, so they
Yes.
allow for more
I
diversity.
sure hope so.
Me too,
I hope
bloody
they're
hell.
going to be a little more linear as well.
Yes.
If we get another
See-
hissing waste, I'm going to scream.
If we get any
Yeah.
desert, I'll have one lush desert that's been designed well, but I don't want to see I don't want to see deserts. I don't want a desert where I have
the only
to get
thing
a
we're
mount
going to
to
get
from
is
place to place.
we're probably going to get the Anderfels at most, which
That's
is like
fine,
more
but
like
it
a
could
Batman.
it could be like
That's
you get
exciting.
Weishaupt as a hub, and then you
Weishaupt,
get
yeah.
other areas of the Anderfels. But it's like I don't want to be walking in a desert collecting elf fruit for like 5 miles straight.
But Jack, that's
For
the best part of
shards.
Inquisition.
Please no.
I'm gonna have to hop off. I'm gonna have to get dinner and stuff.
No worries,
but
Lisa.
it was
Thank you
great
for
chatting with
joining.
you guys.
Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
worries.
Appreciate it.
Very exciting.
All
right,
See
bye-bye.
you, Lisa. Watchman Gaming says, better be a deep road section at Cal Sharok, baby. I agree. Yes. Give us
That would be pretty cool.
more dwarven locations with more detail. Cal Sharok. Yes. I mean, Alathan, the Alathan Forest has been speculated heavily. Ravane, as somebody mentioned as well. I forgot about that. That was in the Thedas Calls teaser. New aspects of Antiva besides Antiva City, like Treviso. There's plenty of, and again, I mean, I've got the map right there. Why am I even thinking about it? The Anderfels is huge.
Look to your wall.
Look to my wall. Starkhaven? Anybody want to go back to Starkhaven?
Maybe.
Anybody? Anyone want to see Sebastian again? Saharan, Parvolin, loads of places of Tevinter, and Avara. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5, 6 different continents. Again, 3 marches. Go over to Kirkwall, see Varric for a second. There's loads. Considering how densely populated Orlais and Ferelden were in Inquisition with like the smaller maps and stuff, about the bigger hub areas, but there was still a lot of those 2 countries combined with the Dales in the middle. So, yeah, absolutely. Sasha says, I love Sebastian, I don't care what anyone says. Yes.
Yes. All right, Jack, I need to leave you alone because I have work to get to.
Marshall,
so
you
you're
go
gonna
back
have
to work. It's all
You
good.
have to carry this stream. Good luck.
We're going solo.
All right.
Thank you again,
All right, catch
Marshall,
you
for
later.
joining. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Peace.
Peace, Marshall. See you, Marshall. Right, it is just me. Okay, folks, how are we feeling? So somebody asked how I feel about the title. I like the title. Where's the title? I don't want to lose that page. So I like the Veilguard. I just don't. Oh, I don't like the. I don't like the. I don't want the. I just want Veilguard. We don't need the. Why have they got the there? I probably should save that so I can put it in my thumbnails. Just Dragon Age Veilguard for me is brilliant. I do like that more than Dreadwolf. I did like Dreadwolf to some extent. I think I've talked about it enough. But yeah, I don't. Anybody feeling the? I'm not feeling the. Skirian feeling excited. Yes, I don't like the. Boo! The title Villainous Kitty. What don't you like about the title Villainous Kitty? I like Veilguard. But why the? Super excited. I agree about the. I miss the goofy acronym. Yeah, Daddy. Daddy's coming home with the milk. I think the title is ugly and sounds like a superhero comic. I think if I saw this as like a trailer, and I wouldn't think it would be a video game. I get that point. I think, oh, is this a spin-off show? Is it a spin-off comic? Just Veilguard. Just Veilguard. Dreadwolf was better. Is icky. Brie, that is a perfect word for it. See, if it's Dragon Age TV, that's Dragon Age Taylor's version, and I can get behind that. Don't mind it. Everyone disliked it. Everyone doesn't like it, Listener Mavaka. Like, it's cool. It doesn't roll off the tongue. The thing is, when you talk about Origins, you talk about Inquisition, you talk about Dragon Age 2, it's like that. Now you're talking about the Veilguard. Just Veilguard. In my videos, I'm going to be calling it Veilguard. I'm never going to be calling it the Veilguard. In my thumbnails, in my titles, it's not going to be Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's going to be Dragon Age Veilguard. And I'm going to change. Somebody asked me before, am I going to change all of my YouTube titles to be Dragon Age the Veilguard? Yeah, I just said it. To be Dragon Age Veilguard? Yeah, I'm going to be doing that immediately after this. Dragon Age the Veilguard, Dreadwolf, Taylor's version for Tyler. So it is now Dat V. Yeah. Dat V. Or, yeah, Dat V. Daddy was a better acronym. Veilguard is a better name. That's how I feel about it. Dav. Datv. Jack Dorsey get the title changed again, literally. At least they've kept the neon purple colours and sci-fi neon 80s vibe approach, the Tavinta thing that we saw when we saw in Raphis. I like that they haven't changed the branding. I like it's just the title. Dave, Alan, or Elaine, Dave. Yeah, that's it. That Watchmen. It's not a dramatic improvement. I agree to that. I would have loved Dragon Age Unveiled the most, but again, beggars can't be choosers. The Veilguard, everyone hated that. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I don't know if it's gonna grow. It needs to grow on me. Dragon Age Veilguard. By the way, is Heinz still doing this? Or Hans still doing it? Sorry, I read that as Heinz Vanna Banana because I was thinking about Beans. Yeah, Hans Zimmer, I believe, is still doing the soundtrack. We don't know anything further than that besides the one song that they did do. Dad's real name is Dave. Bill, that's perfect. That is perfect. Yeah, there's lots in purples. There's lots. Is there anything new on this page? Oh, should we check Steam? Hey, it's changed on Steam. Cool. Any new screenshots? Have they leaked anything else? Did they just put the trailer in here somewhere? No. Yeah, they did that very quickly. So it's trademarked as well. So we were wondering yesterday about the trademark and how quickly are they going to do that. Dragon Age the Bean Guard. That's more like it, Sasha. Yes. Heinz Zimmer. D-Mark. Yeah, I did like Trevor Morris, but Hans Zimmer is iconic. But yeah, Trevor Morris did the Trespasser DLC and Solus's character beautifully. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. Veilguard, so Purple Critter says, Veilguard has the advantage of being unique compared to Unveiled, especially for search engines. Also true. That's a very good point of view from an SEO point of view. That's a very good point of view from an SEO perspective. I like, yeah. It looks really good there, to be honest. I like that. That looks really good. Dave or David when he's being naughty. I hope we get the Hans Lost Elf theme on. I want to see what Hans Zimmer is going to do with his portrayal of Solas. That'll be good. Oh, don't worry, Vanna Banana. It's absolutely fine. I wasn't. I was just thinking of Heinz Beans. Do not worry about it. Yeah, Jordan, that might have been the tweaks that we saw yesterday on SteamDB. The keep hasn't changed yet. I wonder if it will. We call him David if he has microtransactions. Right, what else have we got? Let's try to take more of this article with just me. So I need you all to jump off of, or bounce thoughts off. So more biomes than ever before, kind of confirming more locations, which doesn't mean more open worlds. It just means more places we're going to go to, which is always exciting for a Dragon Age game, especially when the narrative, or when you have Twin Night. So there's so many stories and short stories connecting so much of this universe and making it richer and deeper. We have a huge sense of Northern Thedas now, more so than ever because of Twin Nights. Hello, Katie, how you doing? So the fact that we're going to be going to more locations than ever before is brilliant. I just hope that when I do say that, and I think that's why I've said biomes and regions as opposed to worlds or open worlds, because it gives the idea that we're not just going to go to like 1,000 different hub-based worlds and see endless open worlds filled with nothingness. We're actually going to go to cities, locations, places of interest, which I'm a big fan of. More akin to Dragon Age Origins and stuff like that, as opposed to Inquisition, which I really hope is the case. And then what do we have here? So the protagonist will once again feature, it's going to be an original protagonist, similar to the Warden Hawk and the Inquisitor, noting that each Dragon Age game has its own standalone story of its own thread and conflict. So Gary McKay says, games across the Dragon Age franchise are never designed as a game-over-game continuous storyline. They are familiar arcs, factions, and heroes important to the overarching Dragon Age universe that weave through the new story we're telling. The previous games, characters and events aren't the anchor of the Veilguard. It's about your adventure with a brand new cast of companions that you must rally to fight against a powerful force. So, what I take away from that is, yes, Inquisition's Trespasser setup is the front of this narrative, however, in a different direction completely, which is stuff that we already know anyway. We've got a new hero, we're picking up the pieces of what Solas is trying to do, but it sounds like in the midst of dealing with Solas, a new threat is going to present itself. And so I'm like not sure what Solas's role is going to be in this. It says, before we continue, he once again teases another villain beyond Solas. I don't want to get too deep into spoiler territory, but I consider Dreadwolf is not the only god players need to be worried about. So like, that, you know, Inquisition and Trespasser were setting Solas up as the big bad of Dreadwolf, of Dragon Age 4. Right, Solas wants to destroy the Veil. He's aware of the Evanurus' threat, but he has plans to deal with the Evanurus when he can. And then the Inquisitor's like, okay, well, I'm going to disband the Inquisition, or I'm going to dissolve it to a smaller agency run by the Divine or kept by the Divine, but I can no longer be a part of this. Either way, I'm out. We need a new hero who's going to be able to do the rest of this stuff, to be able to deal with Solas, stop his scheme, and we're going to help aspects of that. And so that's what Trespasser was all about. Whereas here they're saying, straight up, the games aren't designed as a continuous storyline. This one is going to have different characters, events, and the new story that they're telling. And so, yes, Solas has an aspect in it, but straight up is a new villain. So, like, I'm wondering of what Solas's role is going to be in the Veilguard. Like, how imperative... What about his scheme? From Tevinter Nights, we get the idea that he is literally ready to go and destroy the Veil. He's got a Dreadwolf demon in the Fade, which could be his physical aspect of his body. We don't know. He is literally on the cusp of getting the Red Lyrium Idol. And if we look at the Game Awards teaser back in 2021, whenever, he was holding, or 2022, he was holding a Red Lyrium or a Lyrium Blade ready to literally dismantle the Veil. Like, he is so ready to go and destroy the Veil. And now it's like... like, despite the fact that he's ready to destroy the Veil, we have a new villain entering the seams. And I mean, I'm saying that the Evanurus. So like, in order for the Evanurus to be a threat, they're gonna either have to worm themselves in the world, or the Veil's gonna be destroyed, and there's gonna be some repercussions for Solas. Like, how can Solas be on the verge of destroying the Veil? There can literally be no hope for our new characters to destroy that, to stop that from happening, because he's ready to do it. And then another villain gets in the picture, and Solas, while still a villain, isn't the villain of this storyline currently, because the Veilguard needs to face a new foe. Does that mean that we could be rallying up with Solas in some alternate scenario where he needs help destroying the Evanurus? Does that mean that Solas is going to help our character out? If we need to rally up to fight against a powerful force that is not Solas, because the player needs to worry about other villains or other gods, which literally confirms it's the elven gods. So, like, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, how are we going to go from sidestepping Solas to then this other character, and then still being against Solas in the end to deal with him? It's a very interesting dynamic that they're going for, again, based on this article and based on things that we've already known from the teasers and theories and things that Bio themselves have put out, like the fact that Solas is literally ready to destroy the Veil. So, what do you think about that? Would you be up for rallying with Solas? Is he going to destroy the Veil and release an ultimate evil and then be like, shit, I didn't mean to do that? How is it going to go about? That's what I'm interested about. You know, the Inquisition is like, okay, we need somebody to do our dirty work and deal with Solas because Chuckles needs to be sorted out. And then it's like the Veilguard's like, actually, no, this other threat is also against the Veil, hence the Veilguard is against us too. Villainous Kitty has just sorted it out. Sandal's the real villain. Sorted. That's it. Say no more. That is it. Yeah, I'll read some chats while I let you think about that. Purple Critter says, we could also be guarding the Veil from Solas while other threats emerge. Kind of like Awakening for those who played that. That's a brilliant idea. Mafal being the biggest baddie. I mean, I think that's an end game material. I think that's the final game material, but I'd love that. I would love that. Heather Cushard says, maybe Solas creates a door or a gate and you are a literal Veilguard. True. Emily says, Dragon Age cleaning up after Solas. That's what it's feeling like, isn't it? Like, Solas is going to make a mess, release Elven Gods into the world, and we are dealing with it. Which kind of like, if we're dealing with it, is he going to be as hostile as we think he's going to be going into this game? If we're cleaning up his mess? Surely not, right? All hail Sandal. Watchman Gaming says, I think we'll be interrupting a chess game between Solas and the agents of the Evaners. That'd be brilliant. I want to save that dumbass egg. Me too, Kylie. Me too. Or Kyle. Sorry, Kylie. I'm doing a lot of reading. Ashley, I think there's a chance for Solas to be redeemed. I 100% agree with that too. That's why I think they've given us another villain. Dragon Age has always historically had two villains. One you feel sympathetic towards and one you absolutely don't. Loghain and the Blight. The Mage and Templar War. Corypheus and then, to an extent, Solas. I think in this game, Solas is going to be the villain at the start. But you're going to have that sympathetic feeling towards him. Something's going to go down, and then we're going to actually have a point blank, this villain is evil, to then give us the moral ambiguity to deal with of Solas, pardon me, afterwards. That's what I think we're going to be going for with this. So you get your fun moral ambiguity to sort out with Solas if you want to kill him, if you want to save him, if you want to wipe his memory and let him become reborn as a new spirit, if you want to romance him and marry him and run away together, whatever. And then you got your, okay, yeah, I need to kill these evil gods because they literally just want to kill everything. I think that would be a good way to go. Sasha says, we go to fight him, end of Act 1, but end up having to work with him to defeat a bigger threat, then have to deal with him at the end. I think that would be fantastic. That is a brilliant way to bring closure at the end of Solas' narrative, set him up as a villain. In that middle part, you're kind of working together, and then you get the closure at the end, having dealt with an even bigger threat. It also gives our character time to prove themselves. Not that they need to prove themselves, but also like show Solas that maybe destroying the Veil isn't the correct thing. Or at least give us that moment where we're like, actually, we've proven ourselves worthy to you. Can we change our mind? Can we work together? Can we work this out? What can we do? That'd be brilliant. Yas Lana says, I think there are more forces at work. It could very well be that if something completely different comes out and F's up stuff, something Solas didn't expect. Also true. I mean, we just got the revelation that the Titans exist in Descent's DLC. We know Solas knew of the Titans' existence, but how many things could just randomly happen in Thedas if the Veil were destroyed, or if fractures of it came apart, or if we're defending it? You know, there are so many things that lurk beyond it. Jen Marie, Jack, I immediately tagged you on Instagram when I saw this. Then I had to go. So glad I'm catching the stream. So thank you so much, Jen, for tagging me and joining the stream. Brilliant to hear. What do you think about the title, Jen Marie? Let me know what you think. I'm a fan of it. We just don't like the. We get rid of the, and we're golden. Jeanette, he trapped them. They are pissed at him. Yeah, so there's enough reason for him to obviously, for them to be annoyed at him. But as again, from his point of view, so we don't know what the full truth is. But from Solas's truth, the Elven gods are very, very, very corrupt and evil. And yes, that is coming from one of them themselves. But even their lust for power. I don't think anybody really here sees Solas as like he can be a douchebag, but like he is very articulate in his ways of describing things, and he does not like corruption, as we know. He's prideful. He likes to be a dick, but he doesn't like corruption. Hence why he stopped the Qunari invasion from happening in Trespasser, and hence why he started his revolt against the Elven gods in the first place. He started as wisdom and he's become pride, but there is still that core fundamental aspect of wisdom in him, So I do, I think I do trust him when he says that the Elven gods were worse, like the worst thing ever, or whatever, in his own inference of what they are, what they represent. I think that I do trust him when he says that they are bad. So I will trust that. Lestella says, Solas's pride is the biggest downfall. He's going to think he has a handle on things, but he really doesn't. True. And the ultimate big bad of the game is going to come in and make things so much worse. Spot on. Yes, I think brilliant. I think brilliant. What else people say? That is a brilliant way. Like, he's left. I can take these off for a second, actually, because they get annoying to wear. And actually, I'll put the tinfoil hat on. I think that's a brilliant way because it shows, like, when he left Llewellyn, he didn't want her to join him, but she also wanted to help him out, so it's a double-edged sword. But, like, at the same time, his own pride is the thing that ultimately is causing him to do this too. And so for that to be for that to be his own downfall, and putting him in that state of actually you've just released even more ancient evils in this world because of your pride, brilliant way to bring on the conversation of like, hey, Solas, you realize what you did, it really didn't work out and it actually wasn't that good in the end. Maybe we can stop doing this. Maybe you can see this world as more than Neanderthals. You've already seen that they are more than that when with your friendship with the Inquisitor or with your romance with Llewellyn. You can see that there's more to this world than what you initially anticipated. So, like, maybe we don't need to break this veil after all because we've seen the effects of that. It opens up the conversation. Also, I think it's going to allow people who just want to kill him go, right, you know what, nah, your pride did this, stab. And that does open up more endings for him. You know, yesterday we were talking at length about how is this going to end for Solas. Well, if there's a bigger threat at play, we're going to kill them regardless. They're the big evils, they're the whatever, the Corypheus's. They're going to end up in smithereens, hopefully. And it gives us the moral ambiguity of maybe actually Solas doesn't have to have a sad ending. There has to be some kind of, you know, there has to be a little bit of tragedy in there because it's, you know, Patrick Weeks has created Solas and there has to be a little bit of tragedy, you know. And then again, Patrick Weeks does like happy endings. But, you know, yesterday I was talking about Solas being reborn as a new spirit, forgetting their memory and coming back as a completely different character, like in his personal quest, all new faded for her, with what happened to his wisdom friend who became Pride. Maybe he also changed his purpose, maybe he becomes something new. But with that kind of ulterior, with that, you know, with a spin of having separate villains and having Solas in a different bubble, it allows us to be like, you know what, this was your Pride's doing, let's not do this anymore. And then you can see that and be like, yeah, I guess. But again, pure speculation from my part. To counteract that, Laplace's angel said, he's our silly little meow meow. Oh, Danny, I like the. Do you really, Danny? Do you want it to be called Dragon Age the? I like the though. Okay, I respect it. Again, my personal preference. I'm going to get used to it, but I just prefer Veilguard, personally. Just because of Origins, Inquisition. But yeah. Max Broforce, it occurred to me too. What about the Forgotten Ones? The evil Everneris, I really do think Elganan and Gillanan have the most hints so far, but imagine Geldoran coming back or something. Also true, the Forgotten Ones, you know, when I'm thinking of like I did just say the Elven Gods there, but like I'm thinking of the Elven Gods as a whole. I'm not just talking about the Everneris. It could be the Forgotten Ones who originally were like on the same pantheon as the Everneris, but then they split and had a fight because of course all gods do is fight. But yeah, the Forgotten Ones are also equally up there because again from Solas and from Codices, they are purely evil, but I think all the Elven Gods are purely evil anyway, so whatever Elven God we get, it will be a good thing to rival. Personally, again, my own speculation, I like the idea of Elganan and Andrul, or Elganan and Gillanan, just because of what we've had teased. There was, we'll watch it in a second, the Fairest Calls teaser. There was a particular, I felt like a Dalish lilt in a male performing actor of a antagonistic character. And when I think of a male antagonistic elven god, besides, I think Elganan, just because they are the original elven, they're the first elven god, the counter of the sun and the moon with Mafal and Elganan. I like that idea a lot. So yeah, but again, I also like that because Mafal's so heavily involved in the narrative and she was betrayed by her own kind. So I like where that could go. So, but again, my own preference, of course. My words are not gospel in the slightest, and this is all pure fun, tinfoil speculation. The entire point of my channel. The thing that I don't like is when people are like, no, it must be this. No, who says? Unless Bioware say that, unless the game's out. No, it's fun. The entire point of my channel is to speculate and have fun doing that. So I am not for rebuttaling or denying any kind of ideas. I think it's fun to speculate. Jen Marie, regarding your opinion on the title, I have mixed feelings. I wish it was still Dreadwolf, but I like the idea of being the Veilguard. Yeah, I like Veilguard, the implication of its narrative. I like it tells us about the narrative. Like the reason for the Inquisition, which was to stop the Mage and Templar War, the reason for the Veilguard is to save the Veil, or to guard the Veil against its threats. So I like that more than Dreadwolf, but I like the acronym of Daddy. You know, Dad's forgotten to bring back the milk, or Daddy's finally coming to bring back the milk, and Daddy being Solas, and all those things. I like that was fun, and that was a really good like community aspect of the of just creating content and having fun in the community. But I like the story implications of Veilguard a lot more, because also what does Dreadwolf mean from a story point of view, especially is what they're saying here. Solas isn't the only villain. Fair dues if Solas was the only villain, but he's not. So that opens the board to the Elven Gods. So like, why have a game called Dreadwolf when you're not even dealing with the Dreadwolf for the majority of the game? And so I get that from a point of view too, because like that's the thing, when we got the Dreadwolf title announcement in 2021, the blog back then was like, who is Dreadwolf? You'll find out soon enough, but don't he is this, he is that, and he is the big villain of the game. So fair dues, at that point, that's what the game's intended vision was. So maybe they changed that. Maybe they, I don't know. Like, we can read that blog and revisit that too. But yeah, the villain isn't just Solas or the Dreadwolf, so it makes sense why there's been a fundamental change there. Because we would be questioning, yeah, why is it called Dreadwolf when we're dealing with the Elven Gods or the Titans or whatever? Celestia Lambert asks if Veilguard is different from Dreadwolf, or are they the same game? They are the same game, it's just a different title to suit the story better. I will just read comments up above before I get to the most recent ones, just because I don't want to miss anybody off in regards to what we're talking about. Solas, and I've realised I've missed a lot. So we'll go through quite a few quickly. Biggest bad is Mafal, she's manipulating everything, I agree. Obsidian Bone. Mafal's mother, Bree, I agree. Xbox commented on Bioware's Twitter announcement. Right, Rick. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you, Rick. It should be my notifications, but my notifications are also blowing up too. Michael Gamble said, some takes out there about this game being a live service game or something like that. That's not part of the articles. It ain't. It's straight up a single player story. Good. Okay, let me look for this tweet. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at the tweet. Did Bioware tweet? I can't see Bioware's tweet. Did they tweet? They tweeted at. Let's have a look. Replies. I can't see any Bioware tweets at Xbox. If you can, please let me know, but I can't see anything. If you do, link it or send it to me or DM me or just tweet it at me on Twitter. I can't see anything currently. Okay. Are we going to get a release date tomorrow? I don't know. We're going to get... it's going to be Xbox's conference, and it's going to be its own on Bioware's YouTube channel on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 p.m. my time. We'll talk about that later on, though. Cassie says, this discussion making me want to rush through Dear Eye again. I completely get that. Right, I'm going to skip through. I'm sorry. Please just... Yeah, give me a second to get through these. Monsters from Gillinan. Yes, Mafal. Tinfoil, tinfoil, tinfoil. Yes, it is gospel, Jackdaw. My tinfoil is gospel. Thank you, Jordan. We love the theories. Thank you, Kyle. Remember we did... Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Jean-Marie. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Varric is the narrator, that'd be brilliant. Dav is just dad accented. Exotic daddy. I love that. It's brilliant, Evelyn. Meredith, romanceable companion confirmed. Ryan, I think that's what they said, yeah. Jack, I double dare you to clown nose. I'll do it for 2 seconds. Because it hurts. It does hurt. I'm taking my glasses off so I don't... So the thing about my glasses is, just a quick short story. These bend, these don't, they broke. So I need to be careful with these, so that's why I'm taking the nose off. But yeah, I can't turn that. It's really a shame. Spent way too much on those too. So for those who didn't see this yesterday, this is my nose that I stole off work. It's really a Rudolph nose, but I mean, it's a red nose. Is it a Rudolph nose or is it a clown nose? I'll let you be the judge of that. I can't see anything because I've taken my glasses off, but we are no longer clowns, folks. Although I'm wearing this clown nose, which feels really uncomfortable and makes my voice a bit nasally, and it's not really on properly. We're not clowns anymore. We have the Veilguard. And we're getting news. So, I don't know about Summer Games Fest, and I'm sorry, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not bothered, because I'm seeing Taylor Swift. If you can't see my 1989 jumper right now, I literally just ran upstairs from work and put this, click live. But I'm not bothered personally, because I'm seeing Taylor Swift, and I'll be shaking it off when the Summer Games Fest is happening. But I don't know, I think they made this announcement before it for a reason. But we do know that we're definitely getting something on Tuesday from them. And also Jeff Grubb is confident we're getting Xbox. Because we're getting... I also can't read any comments. I can see them going, but I can't read it. We're also getting marketing material from Xbox for a third-party studio. The first of a gameplay debut that is going to bring solace to weary fandoms. That's really... Oh. Maybe it's just going to be... This is the first minute of Dragon Age Dreadwolf gameplay. Check out Dragon Age's YouTube channel on Tuesday for more. Maybe it could be just that. Yeah, but I don't know about tomorrow. What do you all think? I'm going to throw a question to you because I'm not bothered. What do you think about tomorrow? Again, they did just make this this blog, and also they have an exclusive IGN article too. And all they have said, we're still ready to show you what we've been up to. We'll see you with over 50 more minutes of the game. So, you know, Jeff Grubbs came out and said it's going to be Xbox, but again, everything else I'm not sure. Clowns forever, clowns assemble, glasses rip, it's true. Clowns forever, we clown in. Clowns. Shh, we clowns always, it's true, we're always clowns. I don't think we'll see anything tomorrow. No Summer Games Fest. Jetta, your channel and this little community is the only thing keeping my optimism I have for this game alive. Feel super discouraged. It feels like there is no confidence in the story. It's true. I do get what you mean. I just hope, but now we're at like an exciting period. We're gonna be able to finally judge for ourselves on Tuesday and Sunday. So I absolutely, layoffs, shit development hell. But now we're finally gonna see the results of that. And Bioware, I mean, anybody can say happy in their thing. I can tell you I'm happy in my work. It doesn't give you confidence that it's a good video, does it? Like, anybody can say they're happy with it. We're just going to, again, I completely understand that point of view and definitely keep that skeptical point of view because end of the day, it's EA and EA is shit, hands down. But approach it with skepticism. And just see what we get on Tuesday and what you think of it. That's what I would say. Because I get that. And it is easy to be discouraged with so many negative news. But just think about Dragon Age Inquisition and the result of that game. Think about what Dragon Age has been in the past. And especially Inquisition. Because I think this game is going to be more similar to Inquisition from a point of view of, like, it's on the Frostbite engine. A lot of the same team are still there working on Inquisition. Patrick Weeks, who wrote Solas and... a lot of it, and Cole, and the Trespasser DLC is the lead writer for this game. John Epler, who was the narrative cinematic designer for Inquisition, is the creative director after Matthew Goldman left. So there's a lot of that core leadership team from Inquisition on Dreadwolf. So if you liked Inquisition and you're gonna, you know, this game's gonna have flaws. Of course it is. It's been in a development hell. It was gonna be a multiplayer game at one point, you know. But I would just say just don't have expectations of it being the best game possible. And if it bloody is, fantastic. But have low expectations and you'll always be happy and surprised. That's what I would say. Taylor Swift over Dragon Age, only for this one occasion. Because I mean, tomorrow we're probably not going to get anything anyway. So it's a good thing I'm going to the Eras Tour. I mean, come on. But also the Eras Tour was a done deal I bought the tickets last year. Sasha, I did not see Biomes tags on Tumblr. Let us have a look. Thank you, Escalucio. Sorry, how do I say your name? Escalucia. Escalucia? Thank you for the tag. Escalucia just tagged me in. Several people here just started emanating high-pitching squeaks of joy. And that was at Xbox at BioWare. Thank you so much for that. And then if we look at Tumblr. Escalucia. Escalucia. Thank you, Escalucia. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha, for DMing me. Thank you. Oh, brilliant. On Discord or on... Thank you, Sasha. Thank you. Okay. So... Let's have a look. But for real, once you meet the companions, you'll see why the name change is important. Ooh, okay. Okay, so more context around the name change, which is exciting. Once we see them, we're going to understand why it's important. What does that mean? Interesting. I saw a report from Shinobi that there would be a trailer. Well, look at Shinobi. Now we're getting loads of stuff coming out. Also, the podcast following the Breadcrumbs is absolutely going to stay the same following the Breadcrumbs because, like, end of the day, we're still following the Breadcrumbs to Dragon Age, the Veilguard's release, but also we're still following Solas. That's the point. Like, you know. Sorry, I'm still catching up with old comments. I hate missing things, but the red-nosed reindeer. Thank you. Oh, Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Oh, my lord. Thank you so much, Jacob, for the super chat. Love the work you do. Keep it up. Will you be doing lore videos once the Veilguard comes out? Also, how do you feel about the party size being reduced by one companion? I will be doing loads of content on the Veilguard once it's out. I will be doing it. I'll be covering everything as much as I can. Lore, I will do it and I'll make it... I think lore will come after news and reviews and impressions and gameplay. It will come... It will be the thing I do towards the like the middle part of the content cycle. But yeah, for sure, I'll definitely be touching on lore and facets of it and things that I find interesting. I'm gonna be fully like reviewing it. I'm gonna be doing like an impressions immediately, like a 30-hour review, a full game first playthrough review, and then like right, I've played the game 5 times with different canon playthroughs review. I'm going to be doing a lot of that content, and a lot of things on like my opinions on this part of the story. You know, talking about this particular beat. The podcasts will be coming in full through then. Hopefully I can get interviews with the developers. I have loads of them follow me on Twitter anyway. I'm sure it's just a case of DMing them and seeing if they're comfortable talking to me about the Veilguard once it's out. And I'm sure a lot of them are and will be. So many things. There is so much content that I cannot wait to do, which is the entire reason of the channel that we've been waiting so long to do. Is definitely what I'm up for. The 10-year-old me is screaming like crazy. Volpe, I agree. Comment. The Dragon Age brain rot setting in so bad right now. There better be a dwarf companion. Scout Harding has to be. Please. Decent film of Kunari, I agree too. They are the Veil. Huge shrug. Casey. Maybe they are spirits who exist beyond the Veil and they need lyrium bodies to survive. Maybe the Veil's destruction is going to destroy all their homes. The Veil's destruction is going to destroy everything, so maybe they have a significant connection to that. Particularly, why? Yeah, what do other people think about this tag? Thank you, Jenna, for joining. Jen Marie for joining anyway. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for wishing me to shake it off. I can't wait to shake it off tomorrow. Oh, and also Jacob asked about the companions. Yeah, I think it's gonna put a bigger role on who I choose to play as a class. So, like with Inquisition, I could just bring, my main team. Well, I love Solas, Cole, and I like having a warrior of Iron Bull. I also like Sarah, Vivienne, and Cassandra. That's a really fun team. But now I'm not just going to be playing as 2 rogues and a mage and a warrior. It's now going to be rogue, warrior, and mage. So it's really going to put a specific role on my role now in Dreadwolf. In Veilguard. So I'm going to have to think harder about that now. I understand it. I like the banter of having 3 characters. Whereas now, like, is our character going to get more involved in the banter now? Are we going to have dialogues? Maybe they're going to get more involved in the banter. Maybe we're going to have dialogues that shoot out, being like, boop. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Because I don't know. I'm going to see it to believe it. I guess Mass Effect is always been 2 companions, so it's similar to that. But I liked having a party of 3 and then having my own character too. Because but at the same time, my character took a back seat while I could just have the other companions doing their specific stuff. But then I suppose my character's going to have a better role in combat now. And more of more of a dynamic role in combat, which I get behind. But yeah, it's sad that they're taking away that, but I guess the combat's going to be more fluid anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like. But yeah, I think for the party banter, it's going to be not fair for that, because you want to have the dynamics. I love having Solas, Cole, and Iron Bull, because Iron Bull gets so freaked out by Cole. It is brilliant. Whereas if it was just Solas and Cole, it would just be it's brilliant, but it's just so they're just speaking in poetry to each other. So it'll be interesting to see how that helps it, and also things like in Inquisition you had things like Adorable, which happens when you had Iron Bull and Dorian in your party, and then obviously you got somebody else too to kind of at least riff off that with. Whereas like you're not gonna have that many things happening now if you can't have as many companions at the same time. So it's an interesting dynamic for sure. Silent MC off the table now? Maybe. DT, the Meryl slander. She would not work for Solas, sweats nervously. Yeah, Kyle, I hope we get to choose the companion, the faction we get to be a part of. Especially if there are 7 characters from 7 of Veilguard's factions. Meryl could absolutely be a Veilguard. Meryl's such a silly Solas fan, lol. Yeah, I'm interested in that tag. It's interesting to see what that means. It'll be the fact that every character in the Veilguard has a reason to be joining this narrative and a reason to stop the big bad, which isn't Solas now. So there'll be some kind of combined effort on everybody to stop it, and why they're doing this for their own reason, as opposed to, like, again, I like Blackwall, but I don't love him. But Blackwall just joining the Inquisition because why not? I get it. He has a lot more to him than that. But from my point of view, when I recruited him in the first playthrough, it was like, okay, so you're joining because okay, as opposed to like Cassandra, the left hand or the right hand of the divine, seeker of truth, wants to stop this mad shit from happening and wants to, reclaim the divine's name and set order in a place, and the Inquisition represents the former seekers. So much reasoning behind her, and then you got Blackwall, who is a Grey Warden but really isn't. You know what I mean? You kind of get where I'm coming from. So it feels like all the companions of Veilguard are going to have a legitimate, bigger reason, overarching goal for wanting to be or for being in this group. And it sounds like there's going to be more downtime, more content with them as well. And also all of them are romanceable. It's let me triple check that tweet. Sorry, that that quote. Yes, you can romance the companions you want. Okay. So, you want... I mean, does that mean all of them are romanceable? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it means you can romance all the companions. That's what it sounds like to me. Which is brilliant. If, like, you know, you're not going to have, like, sorry, I just spilled some of that on me. I apologize. In Inquisition's marketing, they revealed, like, the sexuality of Inquisition's characters. And you had this dynamic where, oh, yeah, the undead isn't in that picture. You're right, I'll get another one. Yeah, give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, give me a minute, folks. In Inquisition's marketing, they revealed the sexuality of the characters, and it kind of had this dynamic in the community where people were just, and I hold my hands up, I was doing it too, but I was creating my character around the character that I wanted to romance, which isn't really a way to create a character. That's just one tiny aspect of it. That's one small aspect of the reason for playing these games. But I get it. We're a horny fan base. You know, we're like, right, Josephine, yep. So we're like, okay, well, I'm going to play it as this kind of character now. Obviously, Josephine's, you know, she's fine because she's bi anyway. But still, like, that ruins the dynamic of it, where it's like, I'm creating a character just to romance this one specific character, as opposed to it being a natural thing, which is the entire point of a relationship and a romantic interest anyway. It's this natural thing that just flows anyway. So for me, while I'm all like Harley Quinn or Neve Gaius or Scout Harding or whoever's going to be in this game, or Audric Felhassan, whoever's going to be in these characters, instead of just being like, I'm absolutely going to romance that person, which I know I say it in videos for comedic effect. Guilty as well, Jordan. See, I'm guilty too. But I say it for fun, but like, when the game comes out, I'm actually playing the game. I'm gonna just go, right, I'm gonna romance who I naturally gravitate towards, as opposed to being like, yep, you, because you're a nice Kunari. Kyle, I am not attacking anybody. I am the same. But because that way, like, when I played Inquisition, I was like, yep, Cassandra. And then I got to know Josephine, and I was like, oh, shit, I like Josephine. And Josephine's my main canon romance in Inquisition. So, like, I'm gonna do it how you should do it in real life, and just naturally gravitate towards people who I just naturally am in conversation with, and see who I grow an attachment with that way. Because I think that's a better way to enjoy and play the game, as opposed to just seeing somebody attractive and being like, yes. So, no, like in Baldur's Gate, when you're getting to know characters and you understand their dynamics and you're being your authentic character, I'm going to be doing that and seeing which characters I gel with the most. My headcanon is to romance Miveris, so I'm guilty as well. I mean, Miveris would be a brilliant romance. Ooh. Also a good point, Nami. All 7 party companions being romanceable and available for any player is a dream. How many romances were there in Inquisition? So, again, I know some of them are exclusive, but Solas Cullen, Josephine... Solas Cullen, Josephine... Blackwall, Iron Bull, Sarah, Dorian, Cassandra... Is that it? Mages were Dorian, Vivian, Solas. Blackwall, Cassandra. Sarah. Josephine. Oh, Iron Bull. What, 8? Were there 8 or 7? Yeah, yeah. So, like, same or if not less. Scout Harding was only flirtable in Inquisition. 7 or 8. There was 7 or 8 in Inquisition. Solas, Cullen, Josephine, Dorian, Blackwall, Iron Bull, Cassandra, Sarah. 8, right? 8 romances. Right, we're getting 1 less in Dread Wolf. Sorry, Veilguard, but they're all companions, which means, like, whereas in Inquisition, I love Josephine, I love Cullen. those romances were brilliant, but they were also kind of like, you didn't get the banter with them, you didn't get the party dynamics, obviously because they're advisors. Whereas this way, we're actually getting all the companions who we can go out with and explore and do stuff with as romance options too. So you're going to get more dynamics of that, which I really appreciate. Whether that is like actually party banter or more conversations on the road or whatever, however it's going to be. And that's probably also because maybe Veilguard won't have advisors. I feel like Varric should be an advisor, but again, it's going to be a different game, different story, different to Inquisition. Advisors was a new thing for Inquisition anyway, so maybe it's, you know, that's why we're not getting these advisors or all these other NPC characters who are romanceable. It is just our companions, which is cool. So I like that. I do like that a lot. And again, yeah, as I said, I'm just preempting myself not to just go, ooh, tall Qunari woman, romance. I want to be like, okay, who do I gravitate towards in a personality sense? And so far that would be Neve, if she's, again, in the game and romanceable, because I like Neve a lot. She's really cool. She was a private investigator working with the Shadow Dragons in Dragon Age the Missing, and she was also in a Dragon Age Tevinter story, Knights in Manrathis, I believe. So yes, preferences besides aesthetics. But that's the companions. So yeah, that was all from a question that Jacob asked me. But thank you for the question, Jacob. I appreciate it. So then, right, further on in this blog, or this article, sorry, we touched upon this stuff. We got to, which part did we get to? So loves and loss. The fact that there's stories of loss is brilliant too. We're getting a balance of romances. So there may be some sad, tragic romances in there too, which I'm all for. So yeah, we're going to unravel their loyalty and friendship, and we're going to visit more regions in Thedas, which is exciting. So that means that like all of these companions are from different backstories and locations too. So more areas of Thedas. If there's 7 of them, bit of a stretch, but could they all be from 7 different locations? How many countries are? So 3 marches: Starkhaven, Antiva, Ravane, Saharan, Tevinter, Navarra, the Anderfels. Oh, what's that? 7. Like, cool. Could each of them potentially be from, I mean, that was just me spitballing there, but could each of them be from those specific countries? Potentially, maybe, we'll see. What else we got? Yes, give us the angst. I agree. Bronze Soul Tracks. Drooling and weeping at the tragic romances. Yes. There has to be a dwarf option. There has to be. That's why I didn't really want to look at the concept art, because, I mean, I will bring it up, but it's like, it's not really a verifiable thing, because it is just concept art. But again, it at least shows a vision that the devs have. Shari, do you like the tinfoil hat? Do you like it? I hope we get an Ace NPC too, Alison. I agree to that too. I think, again, it's BioWare. It'll be a varied bunch of different dynamic relationships. I do trust in that stuff. I really do trust in the dynamic relationships that we'll get. Where is that picture, the concept art? I'm going to get another one up. Where am I? Thank you, Shari, for loving the tinfoil hat. I appreciate it. It means a lot. This tinfoil hat was created ages ago. I think it's still going from like 2022. I moved here in like 2022. Yeah, so it's a long-standing. It's a pre-Dreadwolf name, tinfoil hat. I kid you not. Right, so these are concept arts that we've got, but these are companions. No. Even this character here looks like a dwarf. Even could be Scout Harding, maybe. That potentially. I'll have to go on the other folder. Where was the other folder? So we got that trailer in 2020. High res. That's not the right one. Give me a second, folks. I have a lot of images of Dragon Age. It should be down here somewhere. So we've got this one. This is actually the actual fan art one. There you go. That's cool. Vintage tinfoil hat. Exactly. I get what you mean, Prophet of Truth. It's BioWare. I mean, in terms of like BioWare have an incentive on showcasing different aspects of relationships and trying to, or aiming to always differing their romantic storylines from like Mass Effect to Dragon Age. You can see the diversity in that. And so what I'm aiming to say with that is that BioWare are always aiming to be as progressive as possible and look at different narratives that they can share, because they've already done so many different well, they've done so many kind of generic romance options. They're always aiming to try and do different ones, and they have a big push on LGBTQIA plus romantic options. So I feel like they're going to be progressing more in that direction too, in terms of just giving us different romance options that we haven't had before. Is what I was trying to say when I said this is BioWare, you know. But I get it. Yeah, does its BioWare even hold its water anymore? I get what you mean with that, because we don't even know what that means anymore, because we haven't seen a project from them. It's been, I didn't care for Andromeda. I love Mass Effect, but I know, personally, I know people love Andromeda, but I'm not the biggest fan of it personally. So like, I don't count that as a win. And Anthem obviously wasn't a win. Inquisition was a big win for me. So it's been 10 years since that. So I get what you mean with that. I do. How do you feel about Dragon Age looking more like Mass Effect than ever? I get what you mean with that statement with like the Veilguard looking like that with loyalty missions or whatever's going on with that, or like a suicide mission. I mean, Mass Effect 2 is my favorite Mass Effect game, so I love that idea. Heists in Tevinter, I like that idea of there's an element of risk, you know. I like that a lot, and I like the fact that I love Mass Effect 2. I love it. It's so, if Bioware are mimicking that for Veilguard, I'd love that. One thing Bioware's good at is companions. Excited to see a new Crow. Yeah, exactly. And so what we speculated from back in the day on this was, this is Audric Felhassan. Come on. Navaran Necromancer, or Navaran Morn, from the Fraternity of the Mornwatch. Guy who has two spirits inside of him, basically. This could be a Veil Jumper, or it could be a Qunari. So, what's he called? Give me a second to get a real picture. We now think it could be, what's his, Strife from 3 Trees to Midnight, and is also an imperative character in the Veil Jumpers. Where is his picture? I have so many pictures. That comic came out last year, didn't it? Strife, where would you be? What we'll do is we will... Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now, Bill, is the picture of Strife from The Missing. Okay. Issue 3, is he in? He's in issue 3. Here he is. So, we think this could be this. Again, this is concept art. Very, very early concept art too. I definitely, tall, elf, Veil Jumper, concept art as well. So right there, then that would be Mortalatasi, or the Veil Jump, the Mornwatch, but just Navaran Mortalatasi. Then you got your Veil Jumper. Antivan Crow, need I even say anymore? Antivan Crow. Come on, Antivan Crow. This one, we'll come back to that one. Could be a mystery. Neve, which will be a Shadow Dragon. So Neve is in issue 4. And Neve looks like this. And again, concept art, but Tevinter, robed fashion, no hat, or Maveris Talani. Tevinter figure, I think... Actually, I'm torn if it's Neve or if it's Maveris. But yeah. So, we'll just say Tevinter. Lord of Fortune, maybe. Qunari. And then Antivan Crow, or something different. And then, yeah, somebody mentioned no Grey Warden. Grey Warden, then. Yeah, I don't know. That's where it gets different. Davran. Yeah, Davran from the Grey Warden. Yeah, Davran the Grey Warden. I thought this could be a Fog Warrior. Or it could be Holix from the Tale Infinite Knights, who can dress up and is a Lord of Fortune. It's a Lord of Fortune. So then, Mortalatasi, Veil Jumper, Antivan Crow, Lord of Fortune, Tevinter Shadow Dragons, or Lucerni, Grey Warden, Qunari faction, which could be anything, And yeah, this one does look like Francesca. So what's the faction that's missing out then? Got your Grey Wardens, you've got your Mortalitassi. The comic featured the Shadow Dragons, the Grey Wardens, the Antivan Crows, and the Veil Jumpers. So they're already covered in that. So then it could be another Twin faction. Yeah, I mean that's all 4 of them really covered. They're the big ones. A Ravane faction. Oh, that'd be the Lords of Fortune. Elves, yeah, something from the elves. Yeah, what could it be then? We've got an Executor would be fantastic. That would be the Executor, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure. Lord of Fortune also maybe. Then this one's the Executor. Lord of Fortune there maybe. Doesn't look like a Grey Warden, but again, it's concept art. A new faction. Yeah, I mean we've got the 4 important ones that have been covered in the concept art and in the trailers and in the comics. So then the 3 remaining can be different. Like that, like the Kunari could be something different. One of them is your character, Frankie. Frankie has hit the nail on the head. All right, we're gonna say that this is our character because it makes it easier. Kunari faction, Grey Warden, Tevinter faction, Lords of Fortune, Antivan Crows, Veil Jumpers, Mortalitassi. No dwarf here though. True. Oh, true. That is true. Could be a Quarian or a Kunari. Quidian. I don't think it will be Quidian. I would love it to be Quidian. But I don't know. The 6th history, what did you say 5 minutes ago? As in, we may have a mage who used a sword. I think the companion classes will not be properly confined to the 3-class system. As in, we may have a mage who uses a sword and shield. We may have a rogue who complements their skills with magic. So that's why we can get away with not having just your classical rogue warrior mage. That's a good idea. The 6th history, I like that. I think the biggest takeaway from this is there was no Mabari Warhound companion conceptualized in this. BioWare, where is my Mabari Warhound? Where? Yeah, the heights do look a bit far there. The heights do look off. Like, yeah, maybe, yeah, they're walking in from a distance. Well, a little bit of distance. Again, this is also concept art from ages ago. But now that we have characters from not Tevinter Knights, from The Missing, Neve is huge. Neve was in Tevinter Knights, and Neve is then in The Missing, and I think Neve is going to be a companion, and I'd love to meet Neve more because she's a private investigator. And then you've got the Veil Jumpers. So, you know, I'm saying Strife, but like we've got Irulen too, who is a Dalish shapeshifter. That would be sick to have, and represents the Veil Jumpers. You've got Strife here as well. And then you've got the hottest couple of them all. This is the thing. So at the moment, let me get a better picture of them. Tia and Viago are together. So if those two are going to be romanceable, they can't be companions, or there's going to have to be some sort of breakup. Let me get also a better picture of those two together. There they are. So what's going to happen with those? Yeah. If they're one of our Antivan Crows and all of our companions are romanceable, and these two are currently, I mean, they're together, but they're having a tryst. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're together. What's going to happen there? Let's find out. But yeah, there's those two. So there's 2 potential Antivan Crows. And then we have Evka, Ivo, and Antoine, who could be our Dwarven companion. Now, spoilers, we do know based on a leak, Evka and Antoine are in the game, but we don't know if they're companions. But it looks like in a mission they are companions. Now, they could just be tag-along NPCs. But, yeah, they could just be NPCs. But, they yeah, it's interesting. I do like Evka Ivo a lot. And we've had more content on her than anybody. She's had, 2 short stories and then a dedicated to Midnight Story, and then she's in the Dragon Age The Missing as well. Who knows? Could be an open romance. That's a brilliant idea, Carrie Piper. That's a brilliant idea. It could be a poly. It could be open. Yeah, true. Or we could have Lucanus, who is as the next Antivan Crow character. Also true. Weishaupt. So Evka Ivor is going to Weishaupt. And yeah, that leak was from... Yeah, Jordan, that is the leak from Weishaupt. Yeah, Varric won't be a companion for sure. I think he'll be an advisor or even just a significant NPC. Kind of like Rex in Mass Effect 2, where he is just an important NPC you can go visit anytime. I think Varric will be like that. Love the tinfoil hat. Thank you, #1 fan. Living up to that name. Thank you. Also, a good point, Frankie. How are they going to tie the Inquisition to the Veilguard variant? It's true. I think at least having one member from the Inquisition, i.e. Scout Harding, representing that aspect would be a good idea to do that. But then, yeah, like, how is the Inquisitor going to tie into all of this? If we're largely going after other elven gods, or the Inquisitor's more about Solas. So maybe the Inquisitor's going to be like at the start of the game, at the end of the game, but then doesn't care about the middle. Maybe we get to use the Dorian, or maybe some sort of technology to call the Inquisitor. Maybe we get to hear them chime in a bit, as opposed to them constantly being an NPC. Or maybe they're just coming for a mission, like Hawk. But I think, yeah, Liz Harding romance, she has to be. She has to be. If BioWare listened to us, Scout Liz Harding. That's all we need. Sasha asks, who do you think Balara will be from the behind the scenes 2020 trailer? I think Balara will be some kind of dwarf. I really hope so, at least. I want more dwarf content in Dread Wolf in the Veilguard. That's what I want. I want to see more dwarven stuff. I want to see Khal Sharok. I want to see Titans. I want to see... I just want more dwarves. I want to see all of that stuff. Really, really do. I want to see Ogryn. I want to see... Not... I just said I want to see Ogryn. No, I don't want to see Ogryn. Or do I? I want to see Sandal and Bodane, not Ogryn. I want that content. I really want to see Khal Sharok. I'm dying to see that. I want to see what's going on with the dwarves over there. Has the Dragon Age page updated? Yes, it has. Has it got any new content here? Could they just like very kindly release the new? Is it in a playlist? Are there any playlists anywhere? Come on, you know you want to. Come on, where's the play? Can you imagine if it's just a place down here, Dragon Age, the Veilguard? It's like, oh, unlisted. Oh, there's a new there's new trailers. I didn't want to. I wanted that. Oh, that's all the trailers. That's all the playlists. No. Shall we watch the Fated Calls trailer and see and have a think about the main villain and the characters in that trailer? I think we should do that. Let me know what you think. Inquisition as an advisor. I would love it. My Inquisitor is my favorite video game protagonist. Hello, Ellis Jens. My day is going fantastic, thank you. I really appreciate you asking me how my day is going. I like the name change. I like the story implications of it. It hasn't changed much. Well, the blog has. It hasn't changed much from my anticipations and expectations, but I like the fact that it opens up the story's implications of what we're going in for, the team that we're going to be, and I like that more. I preferred DAD's acronym, but I like the Veilguard as an idea. Okay, people are saying yes to watching the trailer. Well, the teaser. For this, the tinfoil hat needs to be protected. So the tinfoil hat is coming off because I do not want to destroy the tinfoil hat. Oh, thank you. I appreciate, yeah. No worries about my name. It is French. It is a lovely name. I wish I could say it right. Ellis. I'm not even going to try and attempt to do French. But Ellis Jens. Or Ellis, yeah. Cool. Okay, let's watch this trailer. Teaser. So what we'll do is we will just watch it first and then we'll break it apart like I always do, just so we can kind of really hear the voices of this trailer again.
We fight for everyone, and we always will. The crows rule Antiva.
Glory to the risen gods. They come to deliver this world.
Grey Wardens don't hide in our castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
So actually watching that does get me really excited, because all those characters in there sound so different and new. Straight up, we have obviously an Antivan Crow. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Carolina Ravas, I think I've said that right. Or Sombra's voice actor, as Sasha has said. Tia Andrea Cantori. Andrea Tia Cantori. I don't know any other current high-profiling crows who you know, like Tia. Tia is huge right now. And she was going to Antiva City to warn the rest of the crows. She was with Viago. She's met Varric. That's why I'm confused if she's not going to be a companion. Again, she could absolutely be a companion still. Or it could be Lucanus, or it could be Ilario, one of the Delamortes who are going to become the next heir to the Talons. But I mean, that's definitely Tia. That's one that I am 100% certain about. It's Tia. So Tia. Next one, ominous as hell, antagonistic for sure. I initially thought and I kind of still do think, the Executors, because Ravane land or from across the powers of the sea. Ravane's an island. It's very tinfoily. The tinfoil hat's still only over there. I'll put it over here actually. Tinfoil hat's going here. But let's listen to him again.
Glory to the risen gods. They come to deliver this world.
So, the thing that also does it for me with the Executors is the fact that we've got, like, the Eye, and, like, Illuminati confirmed, and also the sea monsters.
To the risen.
Because every one of these starts with a little an audio section, kind of telling you, like this one starts with the roar of the roar of the Grey Wardens. So it's like that's what it's telling you about it before you even see it. This one has that plunging sound, like you're plunging into the depths of water.
Glory.
Or like thunder or lightning.
Glory.
Or the cracking or the crashing of waves. That for me gives me, maybe if it's related to Gillinan, it's a Gillinan cultist. Or the Executors, because we know nothing about the Executors, and their voice gives off more of a presence than it does of a distinction of gender. This does sound like a man. Again, though, we don't know the context. It's quite a croaky.
To the risen gods.
Quite a croaky voice, too. Quite to the risen gods. So, like, I think it could be an Executor, but it could be a Lord of Fortune. It could be a cultist. It could be a Tevinter cultist. It could be a Magister. The fact that we're showing Ravane, though, again, alludes me to think that it could be Tevinter, because all of these locations have the correct, like, have an apt character. So, Lord of Fortune, Dragon Slayer, because Ravane's got its dragon slaying going on. A cultist just in Ravane. Something like that. Again, I'll listen to this one again just so we can listen to that crashing of waves or the sound of sails as Sacristan says.
Glory to the risen gods. They come to deliver this world.
Grey Wardens don't hide in our castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
That to me sounds like Timothy Dalton, who's a famous British actor. It's probably not him. Ramesh. I know people have already said in the chat. Grey Warden Ramesh, potentially. Yeah, Grey Warden Ramesh is a senior Grey Warden from the story in the Horror of Hallmark in Winter Nights, where he did survive. and he's to go to Weishaupt to tell everybody else about the horrors that he witnessed in Hallmark, where there are at least 11 more ancient taigs, where he witnessed evil transformations with the relation to Gillinan, the elven god, where creatures were being transmuted, and he saw his lover, I think it was like with a head of like a flipping centipedal monster darkspawn twisted creature, which sounds absolutely disgusting. That was definitely Nicholas Bolton. Okay, cool. Either way, I think it's Ramesh. It makes sense lore-wise. He is a senior Grey Warden. This man is clear. It sounds like he's senior from the gruftiness of his voice. I imagine him with like a beard. I don't know why I said beard like that. We'll give another listen.
Grey Wardens don't hide in our castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
I love the euphonous way he says run, quite high pitched, like he's very serious about what the hell's going on. And the fact that also, if you get in the context, some shit is going on in Weishaupt. They're not asking the Grey Wardens to abandon their headquarters. What the hell is going on in Weishaupt? The fact that the Grey Wardens have to fight or run away. Sixth History. I said Timothy Dalton when I first came out, and one of the YouTubers said it sounded nothing like him. Oh, no, Sixth History, I think it does sound like Timothy Dalton. I genuinely do. I do. B tier sounds like Nicholas Bolton. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then the fact that, like, the state of Weishaupt...
In our castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
You've got these weird conduit things, which we initially thought were, like, griffin hoops to, like, fly in and discover. There's, like, conduits over here. There's some sort of weird lyrium or red lyrium corruption magic, it looks like. This bridge doesn't go anywhere, or it's on the other side, or it's broken. I broke it down and lit it up, but there's something bad that's going on at Weishaupt. It's not good for the Wardens again. So Solas Shutoy. So Grey Warden Companion means hero for Eldon. Yes. It's nothing worse than a dragon via leaks. Okay, Bill, do not spoil any leaks. We are having fun speculating, so do not spoil it with real information. We just want to have fun. If you do know if the information is true. Jack, though, you make me laugh when you talk about the voices. I appreciate it. If there's anything I can do, if it is to make you laugh, then I will go to bed happy tonight. So yeah, Grey Wardens, not a good sign once more for our Grey Wardens. And then before we say this one, we've got this weird little... I don't even know what you describe these noises are. Like little... Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Like, I don't know. It could be neon light. I don't know. It sounds... I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just actually nice to hear. Hello, Hazard. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Anyway, what did I say?
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort.
Magic arrows. Ooh, that's a good shout. Yeah. Yes.
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
I love the howl. I love that. And you hear a rumble of a dragon, and then you hear the woo, and it's like Solas' transformation as the dreaded wolf with Mafal's counterpart of a dragon. Oh, I love that. So who is this?
Will soon share.
They speak in a very foreboding, slow way. I initially thought this could have been iambic pentameter, where Solas speaks very in a 5-point beat to the sound of a heartbeat, because it is how Shakespeare writes, and it's every word he says is following that beat. I'm trying to mimic it, I can't. And it's like that seems like it's not just a Solas thing, it's like an ancient elven thing. All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign. It's similar. It's not exactly iambic, whatever the word is. Iambic pentameter. You know what? Let's just Google it. But it definitely sounds similar enough. Iambic, yeah, I'm saying it right, I think. Iambic pentameter. I don't say words correctly anyway, I'm not bothered. So I think it's. I mean, we know now for sure we've got a new villain. It's one of the new villains. We think we've got two because we're based on the previous Game Awards trailer where there are two figures emerging from the Veil with Solas with the Dreadwolf in the Black City. Actually, just that 1 second, folks. That just reignited a theory in my mind as I literally just said that. That actually just gave me a brilliant idea. Let me get the concept out. Pause on this figure for the moment. Pause. Ignore their existence. Where is the concept art? Well, it's not concept art, it's a mural or a fresco. There you are. So, the next game has other gods to be dealing with. The Veil here is split, as we can see. It's breaking out, and two gods are breaking free whilst the Dreadwolf is in the Black City. Is that the narrative of the Veilguard? The gods are free from the Veil's eruption and the Dreadwolf's in the Black City. He's got red lyrium. Is he corrupted? So, is that how we can separate? Because these are on separate planes of existence, kind of. These two are coming down to the world, is what we kind of take away from this being the Veil or the fate that, you know, and that this kind of representing previous villains. Red lyrium, Meredith, Solas's Orb, Corypheus, Darkspawn. Darkspawn and the Taint is red lyrium is tainted. Red lyrium is blighted. Lyrium, they both connect to each other in that regard. And now we've got like this representation of now two figures coming out of a different plane. So the Veil gets destroyed to some extent. I mean, it isn't fully destroyed because we can see it's cracking here, but it's not. Then you've got Solas, or the Dreadwolf, with blue lyrium eyes and red teeth, like he's been munching on a good stick of red lyrium. In this plane, and you've got these two coming down, as if they're entering the world. So is that what we're going with? I don't know. But when I think of this figure, this figure, the male figure speaking, it's this figure over here, which I think is Elganon. This, I think, is Andruel, but also it could be Gillinan, because look at the hair. Look at the drips of water coming from that hair. King Peter, I completely understand that completely. Like, that could be seaweed, and I originally thought that too. It's now just with more theories, I think it could be Andruel because of the spear. But look at the tentacled legs, look at the seaweed hair. Gillinan or Andruel. The appearance would lend you to think Gillinan. But Andruel, weapons of the void, her relationship with Mathal, things like that. This is the figure that we're thinking about who's speaking in this. This is Elganon, I think. Turn it upside down. Why didn't I think about that? That is a brilliant thing. Yeah. I think Gillinan for the sea monsters for Laura. Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, it could be. I mean, I don't know. That couldn't be Andruel, could it? It could be Andruel. But we have a masculine antagonist. That's the thing. We do have a masculine antagonist, given this voice in the trailer. Elganon and Gillinan, because of their creations, good. Yeah. Elganon and Gillinan. I need to look at why I've changed my mind to Andruel, actually. You know what? Let me open one of my scripts to see why I thought Andruel. Because now I'm thinking, what did I think about Andruel that originally cast my mind to that thinking? And I think it was a recent video. Yeah, it was this video here. Let me see what I said. So the Elven Gods are back. The Elven Gods are evil. So I did mention Gillinan in my video. So what I said about Andruel is that Andruel is the huntress. She's known as the Lady of Fortune, the elven goddess of the hunt, and the embodiment of survival for the Dalish. There was a codex from the charge of Andruel, the goddess of the hunt. Andruel would send her messenger, the owl, to show the people the way, and they would follow to where the land was blessed, Always keep an eye out for the noble owl. You never know, Andrul might have a message for you. I'll do Gillinan after this as well, actually. In Dalish legends, Andrul, a daughter of Elganan and Mafal, is revered as the sister of the moon, mother of hares, and lady of the hunt. Hear me, sons and daughters of the people, I am sister of the moon, mother of the hares, lady of the hunt, Andrul, just in case you didn't believe that was to be the case. Andrul's passion for challenging hunts led her to pursue the Forgotten Ones in the Abyss, ultimately driving her to madness. And then there's the codicy for that is, she began stalking the Forgotten Ones, wicked things that thrive in the Abyss. Even a god should not linger there, and each time she entered the void, Andrul suffered longer and longer periods of madness after returning. However, Mafal intervened, challenged and restrained her, stealing her knowledge of the void, which we now attribute to the Blight. The codicy for that is, Andrul slashing deep gouges in the serpent's hide, but Mafal's magic sapped Andrul's strength and stole her knowledge of how to find the void. We refer to the Blight because the Anvil of the Void and many other reasons. In Elvenan, Andrul crafted formidable weapons, a golden bow from the gathering storms and a golden spear from the radiance of stars. Her relentless hunting extended to mortals, earning her the title of Goddess of Sacrifice. And the codicy for that is, she shook the radiance of the stars, divided them into grains of light, then stored them in a shaft of gold. Andrul, blood and force, save us from the time this weapon is thrown. Your people pray to you. Spare us at the moment we become your sacrifice. And there is a brief image of an elaborate golden spear glowing with unbearable heat. Then it fades. And the final thing we have is examining the concept art of an evil god, which I will need to pick up because that is the entire reason of it. It is the one we got in the Morrison book. I'll just show you the thumbnail quickly. So just because I want to keep that up there. It's this one right here. This one right here. This character's holding a spear, basically. That's why. That's why. Now, in hindsight, it could be a weapon created by Andrul given to Gillinan. But I'll finish reading what I was saying. So, examine that concept art that I just showed you. We see the figure of an elven god wielding a golden spear in striking detail. This strongly suggests that this figure could equally represent Andrul, unless Andrul has gifted this spear to Gillinan as her chosen. Either way, there's ample reason to firmly believe that it could be either Gillinan or Andrul. So, lots of reasons there to believe that it could be Andrul. However, I think when we look at it, it does feel like it's more like Gillinan. I'll just check everybody in the chat before I read Gillinan. Meetings are over just in time for story time. You came at the right time, Jen. What have I missed? Lynn, we have a lot of Dragon Age The Veilguard news, because it's got a new title. Oh, Julia, no worries. This will be archived so you can check it out later on. Yeah, BT, exactly. Gillinan is Andrul's beloved, so she could have gifted the spear. It's true, it's true. I'll read what I said about Gillinan. And we have a lot of reference for Gillinan, particularly with the executors too. So Gillinan has said, Gillinan, known as the mother of the Harla among the Dalish, holds the revered title of the Goddess of Guides and Navigation. In Dalish legend, she, a huntress and Andrul's chosen one, attained divine status through a transformation initiated by Andrul, becoming the first Harla. The codicy we have is, they say Gillinan was one of the people. In the days before Alafan and the chosen of Andrul the huntress, she was very beautiful, with hair of snowy white, and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Andrul's ways, and Andrul favoured her above all others. An inscription in the Temple of Mafal in Elvenan credits Gillinan with the creation of giants, monsters, and beasts. Gillinan kept herself apart from the people. She used her power to create animals none had ever seen. The skies teemed with her monsters, the land with her beasts. Her benevolence is seen in sparing specific creatures as gifts for Andrul, earning her the title of the youngest elven god. And Gillinan's divine intervention allowed a sinner to take flight with wings in a divine form. On the third day, she killed the beast of the land except the Harla, whose grace she loved above all else. This is how Gillinan was made youngest of the gods. When Gillinan is associated with the benevolent, while Gillinan is associated with the benevolent Hala, an elven riddle suggests a potential darker narrative. The riddle hints at a Hala fleeing from a hunter, symbolizing Andrul and other elven gods in the pantheon. One sees the hunter, one flees from it, one hunts in its turn, one outwits them all. Further insights from Tevinter Nights reveal Gillinan's mysterious connections with the Executors and the Dalish Morlin clan to which Strife belongs to. The Executors' oceanic scent and the concealed chambers resonate with Gillinan's lore, implying a potential servitude to her. The Grey Warden's discovery of a chamber with a ghastly seawater pool creating mutilated beings also align with Gillinan's mythical creatures. And if we examine the fresco, the figure portrayed has what seems to be seaweed emanating from their headpiece, and the details align with the headpiece of the evil god in the concept art, strengthening the case for this figure to be Gillinan. And now if we do look at this figure, if I just pop it up, where is it? How do I get you up? We'll just make it bigger. If we look at this figure, I know it's on a Google Doc, awkward, but whatever. We can see they've got this the same headpiece, so this figure is definitely resembling the same god. And they've got this spear, and they've got this like I liken this at the times like a cetus, a sea dragon's body, tentacles. They look scary, and the description for that is this is an evil god, and the evil gods have their sights on Thedas, and only heroes can stop them. The shadows of the past stir, and only new heroes must rise to fight them. I think they're literally emerging from the water. Gillinan created loads of creatures. It has more room to be Gillinan, but there is also the room. Again, we're not confirming or denying. We are just throwing it out there. It could also be Andril. So that figure we can with confidence say that it's Gillinan or Andrul. And now we have this one, and in this video, which I did create after this, the Thedas Calls trailer was revealed. What did I say about Elganan? I said that Elganan is quite a mysterious character. There's little known about him. He's known as the Elven God of Vengeance and the Sun. The thing I like about this is this is one reason why it could be Andrul. You've got a spherical object and another spherical object that could be the moon and the sun. Elganan is the sun. Andrul is the daughter of Methal and Elganan, and can also equate to the moon as well. And so you've got like this balance of son and daughter, whereas Gillinan doesn't have that relationship with Elganan, but again, they don't need to have it. I kind of like the idea of a father and a daughter being the villains and going at it, as opposed to like, why would these two gods support each other if they were all in a lust for power? If they're father and son, it makes sense. But that's, again, just my little hot take. But what else did I say about him? He's justice, he's fire and light, he's tamed the land, he's defeated usurpers, and he's also referenced in the Emerging Companions prophecy of 2 shattered spheres among stars, and eclipses Fenrir stirred, which is another reason why I love the moon and the sun, to then have this eclipse right in the middle of Fenrir. I love that. We have the significance of Elganan being behind the murder of Methal. And also in the 2020 Game Awards trailer, we had a golden Bioware logo with a sun behind it, which connects to Elganan being born of the sun, which is a very subtle nod that Bioware put in there. So I do think there's more reason for it to be Elganan, but again, that is just my hot take. If we don't think it's Elganan, who could it be?
The world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
It could be a Tevinter Magister. It could literally be the Black Divine, the Archon. It could be somebody not as big as we think it could be. It could absolutely be that. That is true. But I think I don't know. It's all of it lining up. I think it's an elven god, and that would be Elganan. But I'm so fixed on that idea now. I don't know who else it could be.
of my reign.
Architect, it could be a Tevinter Magister. Absolutely. The Forgotten Ones for sure. Joseph Cap, Nia's voice actor from BG3, unaware. Like Dorian. So if he's like Dorian, that kind of quite British.
All the world will soon share the...
Because Patrick Weeks has described people from Tevinter sounding like Southern London. So quite RP. They speak like, not like now. When I mean like stereotypically. Like RP, proper Southern London, who will speak like this and will like to put a lot of emphasis on specific words, and that does fit a Tevinter character. It's true. That is true. Also, good point, Anchor. More than one god. We already know, based on this artwork, there's definitely 2 gods to worry about. There could be more. Absolutely the case. I mean, in this case, it's 3 gods to worry about because you've got the Dread Wolf right in the middle there too. I just got a 404 from the Veilguard EA page. Oh. The Veilguard EA page. I'm currently on it right now. Nothing popping up for me in terms of 404s. Sounds like Scar from The Lion King. Page, yeah, Page is working okay for me. Has the name changed on Xbox? Is there anything new? They've just changed the title. They've been very quick to do that. Yeah. Go to YouTube and click on the link. Okay, thank you. Oh, is it the EA one, did you say? That's working. Yeah, it was working for me. From the YouTube community page. Ah! Must be the wrong link. Or it must be a future link. Ah, well spotted, Jordan. Must be a future link then. Interesting. What's going on? Yeah, maybe it will be the... maybe it is just a wrong error. Because... Read more here. If anybody from Bioware is watching this right now at EA, thanks to Jordan right here, the community, this is the wrong page. Or it might be the right page, but it hasn't redirected correctly. But yeah, it is not working currently, so you may want to change that. You may want to edit it again. But yeah, good, well spotted, Jordan. Very well spotted. Are there any other trailers we can watch? We'll watch watch this one again. Let's just watch them all. Oh, that's me. I saw down here Dragon Age the Veilguard title reveal. I was like, what? And I'm like, oh, it's me. I was like, shit, they've released a trailer early. No, that's just me.
I've faced tyrants and would-be gods. Seen friends lose life and limb. But there's always someone bent on breaking the world. hero.
Grey Warden.
No magic hand.
Antivic Crow.
No ancient prophecy. The kind of person they'll never see coming. We've got your back. I've got your back. Demons, dragons, darkspawn. Even the Dreadwolf. This is your story.
And Darkspawn 2. Don't forget the Darkspawn. Yeah, I love it. And then now it's the Veilguard. Not Dreadwolf. And that gold is gone because the vision changed again. Which I don't mind. I love that do music at the end. And I love seeing that mural contextualized on CGI. I love that. It's like, oh, it makes it more real. Like you can see these figures. It's like, it's so ominous. But then, so this is, right. So Solas paints frescoes of what's going to happen. I'd said before, if he's going to get trapped in the Black City, why would he paint that himself? He wouldn't, would he? Because why would, yeah, unless that's his plan. That's his plan. Because if he's doing that himself, he wouldn't want to get himself trapped unless he's doing it deliberately. So, why would he do that? He wouldn't. So maybe, so why then would he predict that via a painting, or are we thinking too much into this, or is it just because Bioware wanted to put a fresco in this, so they went, right, let's do it this way? I don't know. Maybe he's painting it while he's in the Black City. Ah, that's a brilliant idea, B tier. Oh. That is such a good idea. That's why then. It's already happened. Oh yeah, it's like in in Inquisition when he does it after it's happened. He's a tortured artist. He is. He's a bit dramatic. Gets Jack the Weird Ooze. What's the Weird Ooze, Lynn? Lynn, what's the Weird Ooze? Oh, the Weird Ooze? The Gill Ooze? The Gill Ooze? What's the Gill Ooze? Got to paint when you're trapped. You've got nothing else to do, right? He paints what he's already done, so he released the Dreadwolf, which we know, and now they are loose and looking things up, so he's hunting artifacts and dealing with it alone. The Guin Horror of Hallmark. The Brine. The Brine. Ah, I get you from Gil. I get you. Yes. Look at him. Look at him. He's painting during quarantine. And look at his new get-up as well. Yeah, everyone will be 10 years older in Dreadwolf, in the Veilguard, because it's been 10 years since Inquisition. Oh, and a bird just landed on my roof, which is very ominous. Oh yeah, Horror of Hallmark was so... It's Gil. Yeah, I think we have definitely got a lot more reason to believe this to be Gil than we do for it to be an Andrew. It's just not trying to throw any ideas under the bus because it could be anything. But yeah, the brine from the goo, the fact that it's representing a sea creature, the ties to Ravane, or the ties to the executors who speak on behalf of powers across the sea. Core, thank you, Melthina. I love that core. Slaps his bald head. Yeah, I definitely think there's more reasoning for it to be Gil, for sure. The PNG, oh hello Nagram. The PNG of the fresco tweeted by Matthew Goodman has been my phone save for the last 2 years. Oh yes. She comes for me, Lynn. No, Lynn, don't say me. Why me, Lynn? Oh, is it the bird? Oh no! Oh no! Lynn, no! No! Gillian's coming for me. She knows. She knows the crows are coming for me. No! No! Oh, maybe Gil is supplying an Elganan, a monster army. Oh, that's why they've got so much dominion. Oh, no, that even scared the tinfoil hat off. That's why they've got so much dominion or power. I mean, obviously they're elven gods anyway, but it's Morrigan. But that, I mean, let me get the concept out of the evil god with its spear out before I get murdered by the crows or Gillinan or whoever wants to murder me from my roof. There's literally a pigeon. I can see it right now. You can't see it, but I've got a glass roof here, a glass like window roof, and there's a pigeon looking down on me right now. Oh my goodness! And I just sometimes land on there and make noises. It's great. So it's a pigeon. It's not a raven. Go away. You can't hear me. I mean, birds of a feather. You know what I mean? I don't think jackdaws and pigeons get on. But anyway, I digress. So the artwork I am looking for, where are you? It was from the Morrison book. Also, before we do that, so many of us have forgotten about this piece of art. These two morphos, I don't know why they're cropped, but these two morphos at the back here, some of us forgot about these two. Like, how did we just forget about those two? Is it a two-headed dragon, or is it two old gods? Or is it... how did we forget about those two? How big is this game going to be? Anyway, let's go back to the Elven God. Gil as a brood mother. Ooh, that'd be cool. BT, I did see the post from Gary McKay on the website, the post right here, if this is the one you're referring to. We've been mainly taking apart the IGN article because the IGN article says this and even more. This one is just as good though, but the IGN article just delves into a lot more. I think I may have deleted it by now, I can't remember. But the IGN article just goes into even more stuff. Double Blight, twins. If it's twins, Fallen and Durfman. For sure. Right, this picture was from a while ago, so let me find it. Yeah, the title's no longer Dad. We'll call it Dad for funsies. I'll be calling it Dad for short, but it is now Veil Jumpers. No, it's Veilguard. The Veilguard. They went from Dragon Age Red Wolf to Dragon Age Taylor's version, basically. Daddy to Dad TV. Which, it's growing on me a lot. I love Veilguard. I don't care for but I will manage. Sorry, I'm struggling to find this concept out. Open up my drive. It was 2020. It was from the Bioware development book, and it should be any second. I should find. There it is. So this is the one we're talking about. This is the artwork that we were talking about the sea monster. So if Gillinan is back and she has dominion over creating massive sea creatures, this is probably her. But imagine the disgustingly gross, twisted, darkspawn creatures she could create using her goo, or her brine, or her swampy bits from the things and the tags. We could see so many unique creatures in in the Veilguard. Like, so many crazy things coming at us. Massive boss battles, twisted monsters, mutilated creatures, pure dark fantasy, which I think will be something we all want to see. As scary as it could be, I think it'll be really cool. You're not my real dad. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I see Sandal's prophecy is in the midst. Yeah, it'll take some new time. Oh, Spider Hands. Spider Hands, look at it, Maddie. Spot on. Yes. Oh, it is Gillinan. It is Gillinan. James McAvoy, Jennifer. That's brilliant. Mother Bioware divorced dad. Now we go stepdad. DATV. It's true. That's why. We share custody though on the weekends. I still hope, Chris, that we get heists in this game. I'd love heists. I'd love to see heists. The pigeon wants to join us. Yeah, that pigeon is gone. No, he's not. He's still there. He won't leave me alone. Dark, creepy fantasy. That's what I'd like a return to it, to be honest. No, game over. It is now Dragon Age, the Taylor's version. No, Dragon Age, the Veilguard. It has been changed to represent more of the story and the overall approach they're going with this game, as opposed to just focusing it on the Dreadwolf. It is now about the Veilguard, who we are playing as. We are a member of the Veilguard, and we have 7 companions this time around, as we guard the Veil from another bigger threat than Solas. Which, by Veilguard, I do hope there are heists thrown in the midst. I'd like that a lot. I'm going to wrap up in a minute though, folks, because I've been streaming now for 3 hours, and I need to prepare a few things for tomorrow. So fire me away. So let's do some rapid fire quick questions, and I can do I think I can do a full on summary. Don't think anything else has came out since, but so we've got a new Dragon Age title, no longer Dreadwolf. It is now Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Daddy has gone, and we now have the Veilguard. We have 7 companions instead of 9. We can only take 2 out now instead of taking out 3, which is going to be harder for party banter and kind of if there are romance options among companions and stuff like that. But we are going to the characters are now all romanceable. Whoever you want to romance, you can romance all companions, whatever preference you have. And they put a lot of effort into the backstories of these characters. We're going to be going into more biomes than ever before. Dragon Age: The Veilguard is getting a gameplay reveal of over 15 minutes on Tuesday, June 11th. Very soon at 4 PM my time and at 8 AM Pacific time. It's Tuesday, and Jeff Grubb has said that it's going to still be at Xbox on Sunday. I will be streaming that. Summer Games Fest is tomorrow. I am not streaming that. I am seeing Taylor Swift, who I cannot wait to see. But we don't know if it'll be there. I don't know if it will be there either. I think because they've given us this today, it's maybe like a no, we're not going to be at Summer Games Fest. Either way, Tuesday next week, and I will be streaming that as well. And I'll be streaming on Sunday for Xbox, where we're gonna hopefully see something. Other things that we know. There's another villain. There's a bigger villain. There's a bigger threat than Solas. There's not just one god that we're going against. We're going against more gods, which we equate to the Elven gods. It could be the real nature behind the old gods. It could be Titans. It could be the Forgotten Ones. It could be anything. Shari asks, do I need clown car for Friday, Sunday and Tuesday? Thanks a lot for honking. Yeah, you do. You do. You absolutely do. Tuesday. I didn't even realise I said it like that, Evelyn. Danny, thank you. Yes, so I'm seeing Taylor Swift tomorrow. I will not be able to make a video of this in time, but I will be making a video. I'll be streaming on Saturday. If we get something tomorrow, I might just stream on Saturday for shits and giggles anyway, or I will be creating a roundup of all this news, so you get to see all this stuff together. But no, I hope you all have a good Summer Games Fest if you all are watching it tomorrow. Keep me updated if there is anything, and I will be sure to live stream if we get anything, just like I have today, where we've came on and we've just talked about this for 3 hours, and this is just one blog, well, 2 of the IGN one. But no, yeah, I think that is about it. Ultimately, it's going to be a very exciting time, and finally the time where we can all, we've had so many doubts and skepticisms, and understandable skepticisms about the nature of this game. Now we're actually going to be able to just see it on Tuesday and put those to rest and be like, actually, you know what, this game, we're finally able to put any doubts to rest because we're going to see the game, and we're going to be able to actually make firm judgments based on the game, not based on leaks, not based on news, not based on the development hell, just based on pure gameplay. So that's going to be exciting. But yes, all, I really appreciate it. Thank you all. I've seen so many of you have been here for the exact 3 hours. Bloody hell. You are just as crazy and as clowny as me. So I really appreciate it. And I will see you all on Have Fun Swifty. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'll see you all in a video on Saturday or on Sunday for Xbox. And definitely on Tuesday for the Dragon Age, the Veilguard gameplay reveal. I cannot flipping wait. It's going to be fantastic. But until then, of course, I will see you in the next one. And I should go and prepare.